Mothdar. Who hired this guy? I guess it's Mothdar, and if it's Mothdar, I guess that means that it's another episode of Longtime Watcher, First Time Writer. As always, I am your longtime watcher, King Fets the 95th, and I am joined as always by my wonderful, wonderful first time writers, Action Shakespeare.
Hello.
B-Drops.
Hello.
And the Magical Whale Gopher. We are
Hi.
going to be working on episodes 20 and 21 of the original Kamen Rider series. And I have to go get those names again because I actually forgot them. Whoops. Yes. Fire-breathing caterpillar Poison Mothdar and Poison Mothdar Battle at Osaka Castle. These are probably going to be the last times we say Poison Mothdar. We're probably just going to use the Japanese game name Dokugandar because it's just better.
It's so much better. I'm very tempted to go through the whole episode just saying, like, the full title, Kemushi Kaijin Dokuganda.
Ooh, that is very good. Kemushi Kaijin.
It's very strong.
Dokuganda!
I feel like Mothdar, sorry, I'm gonna break it.
That's fair. No, I mean,
like
that's what you're here for.
was like, in the second part, it felt better.
Yes, because
in the
it was
first
actually
part,
a moth.
He's not a moth.
Yeah.
But in the second one, it's just kind of like, yeah, all right, whatever.
I think my issue is that at no point is he poisonous, though.
No, not really.
He doesn't even do, like, a poison Rana. Like, there's just 0% poison.
I guess he shoots bullets, which is like a poison.
Yeah, man, the deadliest poison.
Yeah, explosives are
His
poisons.
spit is very explosive also.
You get fucking
be
lead
fair,
poisoning.
Yeah, ingesting
Yeah, exactly.
explosives would probably kill you, so...
Yeah, man, real poisonous. Hey, you know what else will probably kill you is if you show up on our death count. Take it away, B.
That'll super kill you. Let me tell you all about that.
Well, I'll tell you what.
I'll tell you what. So, for episode 18 and 19, we're cooling off a little bit in our nautical adventures from the tales of Super Deathbringer Pyrosaurus.
Yeah.
So we do start off episode 18, no shocker kills whatsoever.
Oh, wow.
It's been a little while. And Hayato gets to come back with a slightly higher than average number, having blown up the shocker base with 7 kills.
Respectable.
Okay.
And
Respectable.
it's pretty good. Taki is slowly but steadily building up the miscellaneous kills. He's the MVP in that category so far. He got 1 slashed mook there.
Good on you, Taki.
Good on you, Taki. Episode 19, reeling back to our more average-ish numbers. We got 2 kills for Hayato.
Okay.
We got 3 kills total for the shocker grunts. For 5 kills total for episode 19. I'm sorry, I didn't say the total for episode 18. That was 8 kills. So that leaves us with the total of 13 kills for both episodes. So now our grand totals for each team are Team Kamen Rider slowly coming back with 61 kills now.
Okay.
Shocker is still in quite a lead though, now at 88 kills.
Oof.
Crazy 88s.
The gap's getting wider.
The gap is pretty wide, but Shocker hasn't been getting too many kills lately, so if we just keep up the streak of Hayato doing a little better, maybe we'll get there.
Yeah, come on. Pick your game up, Hayato.
I'm curious to see how these episodes going forward will even it out a bit.
Yeah, we had talked about this briefly actually watching the episodes, but it really seems like they are trying to tone down on the super explicit murder.
Yeah, very much
getting a
so.
little less deadly.
Yeah.
So our miscellaneous kill counter is now up to 4, the complete left field category, which brings us to a grand total of 166 kills as of episode 19 of Kamen Rider.
Ooh.
Still wild.
166.
It's gonna be hard to get 20 or 200 kills by episode 20, but
Is that what we said? Did we say 200 kills by episode 20?
We were hoping
They were going at that pace by episode 10, unfortunately.
That's fair.
yeah, I don't think it'll happen.
Yeah, I mean, based off of what we watched, I don't think so.
unless episode, what is it, 22? Yeah, definitely. I don't think so. I kind of...
We just watched episode 20.
Yeah, we're doing episode 20 today.
Might have forgot about that just a little second.
It's okay.
I know you just
do you
wanted to
remember? Do you remember about 34 people dying in these 2 episodes?
Gopher, if you were here in real life, I would pat your head.
Oh, here I can do it.
Yosha.
There, those pats will come up on a little bit of my recording.
Everything is gonna be okay.
It's all going to be Jaijobu. So with that being said, we'll go ahead and get right into it. Just like we said, it's going to be episode 20 that we are starting with. Kemushi Kaijin Dokuganda. Air date August 14th, 1971. We're over halfway through the year now, huh?
Yeah.
It's August. Yeah. We're getting close. We're about to hit 1972 here in a bit. Oh yeah, it probably was summer break for the students. That's probably why.
I guess that makes the theming a lot more.
Yeah, the last couple episodes. Yeah.
Mountains and beaches and having fun by the sea. It's summer, baby.
Going to Osaka.
Yeah.
All sorts of trips.
The kids, or the crew's kids are home from school, and they're just like, well, we can just film some Kamen Rider with them if they want.
And then go on vacation.
Yeah. We got a vacation,
They had
maybe that's also why there are so many kids.
Yeah, I was gonna say there's like a ton of kid extras in this episode. Maybe they all just got a cool vacation after they were done filming.
I mean, I'd hope so. With how sad they looked, they needed something to be happy about.
They looked miserable.
They looked really sad, but I feel like that that was either the direction or just acting is hard.
The second time it happens was probably the funniest, and I hope it was completely unintentional. All those kids just looked pissed off.
I mean, God, though, could you blame them? Bowl cut, boy short overalls, polo shirt. I would have fucking killed somebody.
It was the style at the time.
I'd have been like, how
a 5-pack of that shirt on discount.
Bro, this fit is atrocious. How dare you make me go outside like this? And then you're going to film me for national television?
Who hasn't had a day like that, though? Like, where one of your parents decided they were going to fix you up for picture day, and you're like, God. This is awful. What did you do to me?
I've had worse.
I'm terrified.
Curious.
Morbidly curious.
Yeah.
At what that fit was.
Tell us about the train wreck of a fit this was.
So when I was, I want to say kindergarten.
Oh boy.
I dressed myself, but I didn't know the difference between shorts and underwear.
Oh
boy.
And I'll leave it at that.
Okay.
Classic.
Gonna out my older brother here to save you a little bit. Back when I was a baby, he was like 4-5 years old at this point in time. It is, I want to say it's the winter time, but that doesn't sound right. Just because you'll understand by the way the rest of the story goes. If it was winter, he would have been fucked up bad. But it's the morning. My parents are getting the kids, who go to school ready for school. He's got this permission slip, and it's been filled out and signed, and it's very, very important that he gets this permission slip to his teacher. My mom is telling him, hey, this is super important. We filled it out. You need to make sure that your teacher gets this. It's very, very important that your teacher gets this, okay? Hands him the permission slip. Turns around to do something. Turns back around.
Mm-hmm.
Where is the child? Where has he gone? There was a child here. There is no longer a child here. Look out the window. there's the child, butt naked, walking his ass to school, paper slip in hand. He said, God is my witness, I shall see this job done. So,
Impressive resolve.
yeah, really. Again, for some
Committed, I
reason, my
guess.
brain wants to say that this story happened during the winter time, but this is also winter in Japan, so he would have been...
Oh, this is still when you were in Japan. Oh, goodness.
Yeah, this is... Yeah, like I said, this is back when I was a baby, so this is back when we
That's
were still in
true.
Japan. So yeah, I can only imagine... It had to have been at least a little bit warmer, or he would have...
Listen, that's very important. Was it his first errand?
I think it might have been,
That
honestly.
shit's important.
Yeah.
That shit's
He felt it in
important.
his
It was.
soul.
He is not the... Especially back then, he was not the kind of kid to shirk responsibility. If you told him something was important, that meant it was important. And he was... By God, he
better
was going to
go.
do it. Yeah.
Nothing is more important than this. Literally nothing.
Yeah. Literally nothing.
Cannot be distracted by things.
No,
like
I got to
clothing.
do it. Look, don't look at me right now. I got a fucking paper slip I got to turn in.
That's so precious.
It is very adorable.
Oh, goodness.
So yeah, as you might be able to guess based off of the way we're talking, there was a lot of fun kid interaction in these episodes today. So I guess there's nothing for it but to get right into it, starting with episode 20. As always, the Kamen Rider has and will continue to fail me. The Kamen Rider wiki, that is. So no plot, just a
Kamen
synopsis.
Rider is not going to fail you.
Kamen Rider would never fail me.
Let's bite our tongues on that one.
Yeah, seriously. That's to say otherwise would be slander. The Kamen
closest-
Rider wiki, however,
Texts.
yeah, the ancient scrolls, as it were.
The sacred texts.
It's the dragon scroll. I opened it up and I realized the fucking Kamen Rider was me all along, and I get angry because that means I have to do more work. Oh, I like the way the synopsis puts it. So our synopsis gives us: Tobei et al. Visit a village and are captured by the larva form of Poison Mothdar. Ichimonji defeats the larva. Woo!
Large is a large larva.
Yeah, large larva.
A large larva. Yeah.
The larger makes sense, yeah.
I'm gonna have a large larva. I'm gonna do just the regular side of fries on that, and
Oh, I want french fries now, thanks.
I could slam and jam on some french fries right now. He defeats the larva, who then becomes a pupa. You know, like how caterpillar do. You know how
Like
when
nature.
you know how when you defeat a caterpillar, it become pupa.
Mm-hmm.
Just like
Constantly.
Yes.
that.
Bug etiquette.
Yeah, bug
Yeah.
etiquette.
We have to help the little ones.
Gotta help the little ones.
Train them.
It's a trial by fire that, like, you destroy the children and then they grow strong to destroy you.
Yeah.
Like a sand.
It's the circle of life. Learning
And
to
it rules.
breathe
Oh.
fire.
we get through 1.5 sentences of the recap.
No. Anyway,
Do we find? Okay, I'm done.
You gotta get it out of your system.
gotta get it out of your system.
The path unwind.
Go.
Still
I
not
am
out.
gonna fucking. I'm laying out for this. Get the pin in.
No.
Talk your shit, B.
The circle of life. There, the song's over.
Okay.
And then it does a boom at the end.
Yeah, I always love that shit.
It's really
Clap
good.
for that.
Too late.
It's too late. You have been clapped for.
You know,
Oh God, why?
if not for the song, then to commitment of the bit.
Yes.
Oh God.
We will always applaud your commitment, B.
Oh God, thank you.
So, we start with the two professors. Have we gotten their names at this point? I don't think we have. I know we get their names eventually, but I don't think we know them yet.
We get their names, like,
I think
once.
we only knew. Yeah, I feel like we get their names in the next episode.
No, we
I just
definitely
remember knowing that dude
get
as
the
the
one
professor.
who dies name this episode for
okay.
sure.
The professor's name is mentioned at some point.
Yeah.
In any case.
I'm just gonna fucking say them now because otherwise it's gonna be real confusing being like the professors, the professor, that professor, no, the other professor.
The professor.
Professor. So we have in a white jacket Professor Koizumi, and was I a dickhead and I didn't write down the other? Boy, you better fucking believe. Cool, man. Hey, good job, Jeremy from the past. You fucking shit. Okay.
Doxed! Oh no, cut it!
Oh, whoops. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, you just got
What?
Well, great. Cut that anyways.
I just missed that. What happened?
Don't worry about
Don't
it.
worry about it.
I'll just go back and listen to the
It's
recording.
Professor Yoshi something. What the hell is this dude's name?
Yoshi
P.
something. Yoshi P and
Yeah,
Yoshi
Professor
P
Yoshi
for
P.
Professor.
I was just
He's
looking
working
at
on.
Sad Monkey.
He's genetically modifying the next Final Fantasy 14 raid. Okay, yeah. Koizumi is the one who passes away. I got another shot of the death.
It's so good.
It's so fucking good. Yoshioka. Okay, there we go. All right.
Yoshioka.
So we have Professors Koizumi and Yoshioka. And they are both climbing this mountain. They are looking for rare insect samples. They get to this waterfall, and they notice that the path is going to kind of fork up ahead and then rejoin. So Yoshioka is like, I'm going to take this one path. You take the other path. We'll just go down the paths. You know, we'll do our research shit. We'll meet up. So Koizumi's like, all right, yeah, sounds like a plan. They split off, and immediately Professor Koizumi sees this. I mean, to be fair, it's just a big blue furry thing. I do find it interesting that in the context of the show, he immediately assumes it is an insect, because I guess these are like insect researchers of some kind. It's never really specified. Yeah.
They talk about it briefly before they split up, because they're talking about like, hey, yeah, I'm gonna get a real cool one, and it's gonna be way better than yours. They have a little competition.
You know what? You better not.
I think
order
it's
it
fair
all
to
yourself.
assume
Yeah,
that they're both entomologists.
Yeah, they're probably both entomologists.
got like a big
as well.
net for catching bugs.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're having a great time. So Koizumi sees this big blue furry mass, and he's like, "Whoa, that's the most interesting
Jackpot.
caterpillar I've ever seen." Starts taking pictures. Click, 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 clack, click, clack. Getting closer. He's gonna get some good pictures of this caterpillar. He's gonna sell it to National Geographic. He's gonna make $1 billion. Except for the fact that the big blue furry super caterpillar stands up, and it's none other than our antagonist for the episode, Dokuganda.
Everybody has just remembered what this guy looks like from the front.
Yeah, with a big ol' whips, the big ol'
My
lips.
note for this scene
and his
just
16
reads,
titties.
"Oh no."
Fair note.
That is such a fair note. Yeah, we have to talk about the way fucking Dokugando looks, because
Oh.
what a look.
Oh.
He's got 7, or sorry, he's got 10 legs
Legs.
He's got
on his
legs.
chest.
I wrote down the line, "I hate his jiggly little nipple legs."
There you go.
I wrote down at some point caterpillar dog teats.
I mean, yeah.
That's what it looks
Why
like.
would you
Like,
say this sentence to me?
He looks like he's wearing a caterpillar suit as a suit, right? Like, I can understand this. And I think we all understand it, that he has a caterpillar costume on. But boy, do the legs of a caterpillar when just put on your chest just look like dog teats.
They just look like dog titties, man. And sometimes that's how you have to live your life.
And
No.
yeah, that suit is a little loose, so they do kind of wibble and wobble.
They
But
do
they don't fall down.
wibble and wobble just a little bit.
I wish they would fall down.
No, that's a different piece of him later.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, I mean, really, just like big. He's got like the big red like bug mouth cheeks too, with little fangies. He's got the dog tit legs. It's he's got a blue and yellow color scheme, which I mean, it's not necessarily bad, but it's not doing him any favors. He is a sight to behold for sure. I don't think he doesn't like attack Koizumi in any kind of a formal way, right? He doesn't like throw a punch or
No.
anything. He kind of
he just scares him.
Sure spooks him.
yeah, he
Yeah.
does. Well, I mean, I'd be spooked too.
This is the only episode of the series where we get people just reacting reasonably to horrible
Yeah.
monsters, because he just goes, "Oh fuck, I gotta get out of here."
Yeah, for once we have finally found the only reasonable village in Japan, because shit starts going down bad, and basically everyone's response is, "I'm fucking out of here."
We're leaving.
Goodbye.
Yeah, so Koizumi gets spooked. He starts backing away from the Dokugander. He drops his camera, unfortunately, and then falls off of the
Or perhaps
waterfall.
fortunately, actually.
Yeah, I suppose it was kind of for the best in the end that he dropped the camera.
Well, because spoilers for the next 20 minutes, but we don't find his body.
No, we do not.
He's
And that
just
actually
gone.
gets brought up.
It
Mhm.
does.
I wrote it in my notes like, "Oh, I made a little sad face in my notes." 'Cause
Oh.
we never found his corpse. But no, it
Mhm.
comes up later.
Yeah, but then we never find the camera.
We do see him becoming a corpse though.
we
Yes.
sure as shit watch the process of that, don't we? Because we've brought back the mannequin technology. And
And
so,
this time we just hucked it off a cliff.
just,
There's no roll.
we just yeeted this man off a cliff. I'm pretty sure he does a spin in the air.
It's so good.
He
Like his
does.
legs are already broken. It's so good.
It's
The propulsion is so strong.
It's so it's like
Yeah.
watching an old Ninja Sex Party video. I mean, they really just swung for the fences with that fucking mannequin. It's so good. Like if you've listened to our previous episode and you have seen the little boy getting tossed down the hill, or the Kamen Rider getting chucked off of that waterfall, it's like that times 100. It's so good.
I love it. I love the ragdoll Gmod physics.
Yes, the
Just
ragdoll
just
Gmod.
throw him off the cliff.
Like they actually throw this off a cliff, and I'm sort of wondering, is the reason why the fact that like they never find the body and thus built it into the story a little bit is because they just lost the mannequin?
They just destroy that shit.
Yeah.
Like,
That
It's
is
like, ooh,
wouldn't be surprised.
we don't know where he landed.
Oh my god, that would be so funny if that was actually the case. Oh man. So yeah, we watch this dude get fucking yoked off of this waterfall, and then we go ahead and we cut over to the Rider Club, the Rider Moto Club, who is doing Moto Club activities for once in their goddamn lives.
I know, like, finally, Tachibana is so happy.
It only
and that only lasts for about 5 minutes.
Hold on, I actually want to get a count here. What episode does Hayato get introduced in? It's like episode 14, right?
Something like that.
I want
Let's
to
see. I have it on my notes.
check. Do you remember the name of that episode?
Raid is that Raid of the Demon Sabotegron?
Yes, it is. So yeah, it is in
Yeah.
fact episode 14. Yeah, Savotegron episode is the one where we first meet Hayato. So it has been
6 episodes.
6 episodes. We are finally doing motorcycle shit with the Moto Club, and it took us 6 episodes to get there. I cannot believe that these women were allowed to fuck around like this for that long, especially because that is probably not a true to life accurate, like, depiction of the amount of time it actually took in universe.
Yeah, way longer.
It had to
feel
have
like-
been months.
At least in universe, they do kind of call them out on it. These past like 6 episodes, they keep saying
It's
like,
true.
what are you doing here? Like, when are we gonna learn how to ride bikes?
Tajimon is so consistently angry about it.
Tajimon is so consistently angry about they just keep fucking girls. They keep fucking around trying to ride
It
the
takes-
moto club here.
It does not take 5 minutes. It takes 15 seconds for him to, after they start getting off the motorcycle, to say, for Tachibana to say, what kind of way is that for the racing club's first students to act?
Yep.
As they run off into the forest.
I'm generously giving 5 minutes because that's probably how long they were riding beforehand. They rode up the mountain for a little bit and went, all right, time to take a break.
Poor Tachibana. I'm so sorry your first class was
God.
like this.
Speaking of the scene wherein they first get to the mountains and the girls just run off, my notes read, Hayato steam cleans the gals?
Yeah, oh man, Hayato is the cattiest bitch in the world.
There's a reason why his boat is called the White Bitch. Because it's him. He's the White Bitch.
He is not the white bitch.
It's distinctly not.
He's only half of that excuse.
He's just the bitch part. No, it's white. It's white like the color. You haven't seen the true. Apparently, we're gonna see the true White Bitch next episode. I
damn.
saw Hayato in the white pimp suit. So good looks,
Damn. Pop off king?
as you should. Well,
As you should.
he probably pops off a couple of times in these next 2 episodes.
Oh, I'm
Damn it,
I'm
already.
sure.
I mean, it is often well said about Pringles that once you pop, you just can't stop.
God, stop!
Anyway, anyways, to clarify on what we're saying, the girls want to wash their face in the river, and Hayato just comes back at Tachibana with, I'm not sure washing their faces will do much for them, and they both look at each other.
Yeah, fucking.
Got their ass.
They
Now
run.
let's sit
They
here and smoke.
fucking. They run past Hayato to go clean their faces in the river, and he just goes, "Ooh, a weave, yoink!" Just absolutely swinging for the fences.
Oh my god.
So while the girls are washing their faces at the river, they hear a very somber, all-child rendition of Auld Lang Syne. But I guess it's
But, like,
a different song
got,
now.
like, schoolhouse lyrics. Yeah.
Yeah, it's called something of the Fireflies, right?
Light of the Fireflies?
Something like that. I don't.
Something like that.
I am desperately looking for one
Oh,
of
through
the.
the glow of the
Fireflies.
Yes.
Okay, Glow of the Fireflies. Do either
look
of
at
our
that.
people here who potentially know more about That's such a good face. Either of our people here who potentially know more about Japanese shit than me, any insight into what this possibly could be?
Do the weeaboos in the house have it?
Yeah, all the weebs in the house say yo.
I actually Yo, I got nothing on this one.
Yeah. Am I the other person?
Yep.
Yes. Come on.
Damn it. Well,
I mean, who else
yeah.
here sings in Japanese?
I mean, sometimes I like
Yeah, and it's wonderful, but
Yeah, it's very good. We're not. I mean, it's not supposed to be seen as a negative thing or anything. It's just you would have the knowledge. I would hope,
well,
maybe, potentially.
Unfortunately, in this case, I do not. I think it is just a sentimental song. I don't know that much about school song history in Japan
That's fair.
or in America. Frankly, I didn't know my school song.
I don't know if my school has a song.
I figured that was just something on TV.
No, like they sang it at my graduation. I don't know how like half the people in my graduating class like knew the words. I was like, damn, like I missed something. Where did you all learn this?
Probably in the student handbook or some shit.
What? I never got one of those.
The handbook?
You didn't get a handbook, me?
no.
No.
Damn.
See, I started high school when they were trying to make it all digital, but they hadn't made like the infrastructure yet.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just like click 50 tabs and then click this button and then sign in, and then you'll get to the handbook. So I just never looked at it.
That's fair.
But I also never went to my graduation, so there's that.
Also fair.
Yeah,
Real rebel.
it was 90 degrees. I wanted to eat pizza and stay in an air-conditioned room, and so I did.
Well,
90 degrees.
we were actually going to have our diplomas withheld if we didn't walk.
Really?
Yeah, they said we couldn't do that. They also made sure to tell us that we have to perform our walk across the stage very seriously, because if you trip, we will also take it from you.
What the fuck?
Come on.
I went to a public school, so I don't understand.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think they were gonna...
Huh?
I don't know about the tripping part, but they were gonna do that for me.
It's because they didn't want anyone to be goofy, so they were like, we're just gonna say if you trip, because we're not gonna be able to tell whether you did it on accident or on purpose just to be goofy, so you can't do it. You just can't.
See, what I did is that I scheduled a bunch of stuff with my guidance counselors and made it so that I graduated like 2 weeks early, and then I didn't need to graduate there, and then I just mailed the diploma to me.
How do you graduate less than a semester early?
My finals ended in 2 of the classes, and then I was taking college classes at the time as well, which counted as high school, like 3 high school credits or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like I got gypped now.
Yeah. That's why I don't have to take a math class.
Nice.
Good job.
Yeah, fuck math.
Yeah.
Math.
But basically it meant I like graduated in the beginning of June instead of middle of it.
That sounds really nice.
It was really nice.
Okay.
Back to Kamen
back to
Rider.
This is actually all relevant
And-
because
Yeah.
the reason why these kids are singing so solemnly is because they are, I guess they're graduating? I don't know.
They're
It
doing
seemed
what
like
I
it
never
was-
did and going to graduation.
From a remote elementary cabin in the woods on this mountain.
Yep. I mean,
that is just how they how the Rider girls recognize it. They're like, oh, it's a graduation song. What the hell?
yeah, but and then they roll up and they're like, the kids all look so sad. This doesn't look like a graduation. They don't expand on that at all. They just say it.
I'd like to believe it's kind of like a given based on what happens after that. They're not necessarily graduating naturally, because the village is just,
Oh, yeah, I guess maybe we were
They're
supposed
just
to...
leaving.
Yeah.
And
I
the
guess
teacher
that makes sense.
did say she was staying, so...
Yeah, that would also explain kind of the additional sadness then, too. Because they're worried she's going to get eaten.
That makes the tissue that the teacher's holding a lot more sensible.
Yeah.
I thought she was like sick because she always like patted around her nose. And I'm just like, oh.
She's like sniffling and crying, I
Yeah,
think, is the implication.
No, I was like, oh, she got allergies.
Same.
Poor thing.
Get out of here, kids.
It's not gonna be pretty.
Yeah, so the Rider girls, they roll up as all of these kids are leaving after their graduation. And, they ask the teacher what's going on. She tells them that, we were doing a graduation thingy. And then the teacher asks the girls if they intend to go up to the waterfall. And the girls are like, no, we were just here for a quick little stop in the river. What's going on? And the teacher's like, look, don't go to the waterfall. People have been seeing a giant caterpillar, and he's been eating people up there. So don't go. It's not worth the trouble. It is at this point where we get the hero of the day. Dun, 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 Exposition Grandpa.
Exposition
Love you,
Oji-san.
I love you, Exposition Oji-san.
Love a good
We got
exposition.
the
Oji-san.
expositional boss on last time.
Yep.
It's true.
We're making sure that old people feel wanted in our community. Because pretty soon old people are going to be our community. Because that's
Specifically
just how...
for this community.
Yeah, I mean, this community already is just old people.
They had children when they're like 73, and
Mm-hmm.
and then they just moved to the countryside. As you do.
Because that's what you do in Japan. But yeah, so in Exposition Oji-san, he rolls up to the teacher and he's like, hey, look, this giant caterpillar shit has gone too far. All the people in the village have agreed that we're fucking out of here. We're abandoning the village. You should probably leave too. And he waxes poetic a bit about, the giant caterpillar to the girls as well. And so the girls, who I guess are officially formally in on it now, I don't think that's ever really brought up in any of the episodes. They just keep helping with this shit, so.
Yeah, they seem to have a general understanding.
Yeah.
Of the situation with Shocker.
$20 says none of them actually know that Hayato is Kamen Rider.
Oh, for sure, no.
I'm positive this is a fucking Rukia situation.
Yeah, Rurouni times fucking 4.
Yeah.
Nobody knows.
Look, Rurouni times 8 if we're being honest, because I'm pretty sure Mari just saps the brain cells of anyone she's near.
It's her stand ability.
She's like an atom. She takes electrons from others, try to make herself more stable, but it doesn't help her.
It doesn't help her.
She's just too thirsty.
Too thirsty.
Yeah. It doesn't matter how much she absorbs.
She'll drink anything, brain cells, water, soda, other such fluids. Doesn't matter.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, just anything to quench the thirst.
Uh-huh.
Hey, look, I could have been more explicit, and I wasn't.
Anyway, hard cut to basically the waterfall.
Do we go to the waterfall or do we go?
We go to the.
Dude, no, yeah, So the girls are kind of
like trickle river,
making their way uptown, walking at about the speed that you would walk up a waterfall at.
There's only a brief scene between those two where we see just the flock of elders descend the mountain and run into Tachibana.
No, we
and
aren't quite there yet.
Oh wait, no, that's
actually after the scene that we're getting to now. So the girls are starting.
I'm getting ahead of myself.
Well, that's what we do at this
Backline
podcast.
of the podcast, yeah. We've fulfilled the quota. We can now.
Yep.
I believe this is the part where we get our first glimpse at fucking Snidely Whiplash.
Not yet.
No, not quite yet, because our first glimpse
Very
of
close.
Snidely Whiplash is after the Great Migration of the Old People.
Damn it.
That's the scene I was thinking of.
Yeah.
I was getting it confused with them just going on the mountain and running into Yoshi P.
Is that what we're calling him now? Okay.
Yeah, that's what we're calling him from now on.
So yeah, Yoshi.
That's a different guy. It's a different guy.
Yoshi is
Not Yoshiaka.
No. Yeah, it is Yoshiaka. Because remember, Koizumi's the one who died.
Well, no, never mind. Not that guy.
No.
Never mind. Not Snidely.
Yeah, no,
So
Snidely is not Yoshiaka.
Okay.
Yoshi P is like,
We gotta
are
get
you?
our memes straight.
Sorry.
Have you seen an old man in a white hunting jacket? And they're like, no.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is a super
Yes.
forgettable
Sorry.
scene because it is 2 seconds long. It is
Yeah, it's
Yes.
introduce
They just
Yoshi
wanted
P.
to-
Have you seen the dude? No, we haven't seen him. Okay, bye.
Yeah, they just
It's
really wanted to make
setting
sure
up
that
stuff.
Yoshi P didn't encounter Snidely.
You know what? I appreciate
Or
that
whatever
though,
you were
because
calling
gone. It seems are the days of shit just not being explained in this show. I know that used to be a
It's-
very big issue,
Yeah.
and they've done a significantly better job with it as of late. Of honestly, in the last couple of episodes we've watched, I've never really felt lost.
They've been very sensible, yes.
Yeah, they do a good job of kind of explaining
I mean-
out everything to you.
sensible in a relative term, but
Yeah.
As sensible as you can be with a 1971's children's
Easy enough
horror
to
action
parse.
show.
I suppose I should say.
Yeah. I
And,
think they finally
you know-
realized that children are their audience.
Maybe a little.
And then we cut back to Tachibana and Hayato, and they're like, "Oh, the Rider girls are taking so long."
Yeah.
And then, oh boy, there's the Rider girls. But wait, it's Yoshi P, and he has something to tell you. And it's not just that Final Fantasy XIV has an extensive free trial up to Heaven's Ward, which is an award-winning expansion into level 60.
We got one in. Proud of us.
What else does he have to say? Go for
Yeah,
it.
tell us what else he's got.
Well, he has to say that he met some girls heading for the waterfall,
Yeah, so
Oh, those
Which-
girls.
which really kind of does, negate the scene that just happened, considering that one line is, implicit enough
yeah.
and gets across the same information in like quarter of the time.
Well, the thing was we had to tell Hayato.
Yeah.
Because this is
Not to
this
mention,
is
I feel like the
Hayato and
previous
Tachibana
scene
becoming aware.
with Yoshi P and the girls is more about establishing that, like, A, Yoshi P is alive, B, he hasn't met Dokugandra yet, more so than... Whereas this scene is about getting Hayato in the situation by, info dumping on her.
Fair.
Because,
Like, there's some
ins-
bullshit about a caterpillar.
instead of doing the sensible thing of hearing that there's some shocker shit going on and being like, let's go get the 2 adult males who have, like, come to escort us on this trip involved in this shocker situation as well, since they also help us fight shocker people. They were just like, we're just gonna go fuck off this mountain on our own. It'll be fine. Why would we tell
definitely-
anyone where we're going?
I definitely wrote down the writer girls must know. They have to.
Yeah, I mean, really, truly irresponsible behavior, but, I mean...
True. The thirst for knowledge matches only the thirst for Hayato.
Only, yeah.
I don't think so.
You think they're
It's
more thirsty
competing,
for
at least.
Hayato? Yeah, they're neck and neck.
Absolutely.
Yeah, probably. But hey, it's up there.
They have thirsted for knowledge once.
Yeah, it was.
Okay, I
it was
fucked up this order. I fucked up this order long enough. We now get Snidely Whiplash ass.
Yes. Yeah, so
He
Yoshi
was
P
perched
comes
on the mountain.
He explains that he saw the Rider girls. Then the old person migration shows up. Exposition Oji-san shows up again and is like, "Hey, all of us are fucking leaving because a giant caterpillar is eating everyone." And then in the background, as Hayato and Tachibana start to ascend the mountain to try and look for the girls, we see him, Dick Dastardly himself, Snidely Whiplash. I mean, this dude's fit.
I want, before we go into describing the fit, I have to point out that as they zoom in on him, they have a laser beam sound. It's like, pew!
Yeah.
And I just love it. It's so good. Top Hat Zoop Man is
Top Hat
is one of my
Zoop Man.
notes read.
Top Hat Zoop Man.
Zoop Man sucks. But yeah, so this man is dressed like a cartoon villain that you would expect to be tying someone to the train tracks and twiddling his mustache in the middle of a mountain forest. He has a top hat, straight up, the reflective shades, a big cloak, and a cane,
I fucking... like,
and white
I
gloves.
saw him and I called him Beta Odd Job. So I want you just, if you've seen fucking Goldeneye, I want
too tall.
you to think of Odd Job. Yeah, take Odd Job, make him thinner, make him taller, put him in a top hat.
You gotta stretch every aspect, including his hat.
Yeah, just put Odd Job in a taffy puller. And when he comes out, you'll have fucking anime dad backslide.
Yeah.
Who proceeds to just approach the writer girls like, "Hello, I am a normal man."
And they're like, okay, we believe you.
Yeah, we believe you. You can trust me.
Like, they never once look at this guy funny or like, who are you? He's just
not
like, well,
for a
hello,
second.
ladies.
Yeah. They don't doubt him for a second.
In his climbing gear, he's ready,
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah,
He's ready to climb some mountains.
that's what I wear whenever I climb a mountain.
That's what I wear every day.
Every day.
That's
Fake mu-
well, that's not true. I don't wear a morning coat.
Oh, that's fair.
Yeah.
Strictly evening.
But the fake
Or a top
mustache.
hat.
No, it's a tailcoat.
Or a top hat, now that I think of it.
I don't wear hats. No.
Sorry,
generally.
ladies. The fake
Have
mustache
you considered
stays on.
wearing a top hat?
I.
Let's get some art. Be wearing a top hat, I say, as if I'm not probably the one to do it.
Oh.
Just making a
I
sketch
will.
for Dean. Force B to do
I would be honored if.
No, I'll make you do it. He's got enough
The
stuff
fake
to do.
mustache stays on.
I mean, this guy has quite a look. I might have to steal it.
Well, you
Steal
can
his look.
steal away because he's dead.
So I mean, I think the worst thing than the fact that this dude just rolls up looking suspicious as shit, and the girls are just like, "You are a person who we can trust and come to an understanding with." He tells them the most bullshit I have ever heard come out of another human's mouth. He's like,
Damn.
"Yo, what's up? So anyway, I ran into your homies Hayato and Tachibana. They're fucking waiting for you. Also, because you took so long, they have changed positions. They are no longer at the bottom of the mountain. They are now up at a mountain lodge because they want to borrow the phone to call the police. They're worried about you. You've been missing too long. But here's the kicker. I got you. I know where the mountain lodge is. I would be more than willing to escort you safely there to the mountain lodge." And the girls are just like, "Yeah, sure,
Okay, I believe you.
Ladies, please let me escort you to my
Whitey.
remote cabin in the woods. Okay.
Never been a
Ooh.
horror movie titled Cabin in the Woods. Thus, you're fine.
I mean, it was 1971. There hadn't
Yeah,
been.
exactly. That's what I mean. Hadn't happened yet.
What's a meta?
Look,
Hayato, there's
let's-
this weird wall behind you. I keep looking into it.
You can push it a little bit, it might break for you.
For Mari? Absolutely. It'd shatter. But then she'd be free, and we can't have that.
Ooh,
look.
we
In their defense, Friday the 13th was released in 1980.
Yep.
I mean, there are iconic movies that sort of influenced slasher movies that did predate Kamen Rider.
Yeah.
However, I don't
Hal-
know what sort of bans
Halloween?
on American media had been in place up till that point, and how difficult it was to get a hold of some of them.
Yeah, there's a good chance they hadn't seen Psycho yet.
Yeah.
So yes, they just follow this dude. I don't understand how you could have a man walk at you like this and have him say things, and then you'd be like, "Yeah, I'll follow him." Yeah, that seems.
Well,
fine.
here's the thing, Fats.
Tell me the thing.
He's not a man-sized caterpillar. And that's all the information they have in their tiny little brains.
Damn, you right.
So yeah, we're gonna follow this sharp-dressed man over to his remote cabin, and we're gonna meet up with our pair of hunks. With our hunk and our dad.
Yeah,
And
basically.
we're gonna have a great time and go back down the mountain.
Yeah, it's gonna be great. So he leads them to the shack, and they just kind of, they go in. He's like, "Cool, I'm gonna close the door," and he doesn't even say anything. He just kind of lets them in and closes the door.
Yeah. To which my next note: we fucked up big time, girls.
We aren't quite there just yet. I'm glad I checked my little notes thing, because we do have
Oh right, I'm sorry.
yeah, we have the three gentlemen. They are
I
climbing the
also
mountain,
wrote this down.
looking for our group, and they decide that, much like a Scooby-Doo episode, they're gonna split up. So Yoshi-P goes one way, Hayato goes another way, Tachibana goes the third way. Tachibana's climbing this mountain. He's searching for the girls. He's not having any success. He says, "I gotta pop a squat. Have me a smoke arena."
Light up.
Yeah, hit a little puff pass. Except there's no one I need to pass to. Just gonna smoke me out.
Pass it to the other hand and try again.
Hell yeah.
He passes it to the shocker agent that jumps him.
Yeah, unfortunately, is the problem. Homeboy gets fucking jumped out of nowhere by 3 shocker goons and very conveniently drops his pipe. This is a tool that will help us later.
A secret pipe that will help us later. Can't have shit in Detroit was my note.
That fucking post. Like, still. I lose my shit every time I think. B, Gopher, please tell me you two know that post.
I can't
It
say
doesn't
I'm
ring a bell.
familiar.
Oh, wow.
It's so fucking funny. It is.
Add it to the list of things after podcast.
Well, I mean, it's simple enough to explain it because it's so good. It is a picture of the front of someone's house, and it's one of those like houses that's like raised up because like the basement or whatever is above ground level. So it is raised up, and you can see based off of like indentations in the wall, and on the ground and everything, where there was probably like a wood staircase walk up to a front porch, and then the front door, and then underneath it is a caption that says, "I walked out of my house this morning and fell, shaking my damn head. Somebody stole my front porch. You can't have shit in Detroit."
Oh, God.
Oh my god.
It's so fucking funny that they finessed this man's porch.
I got you.
Oh, thank you. It's so fucking good. Yeah. Someone stole my
What could this
fucking
person have
porch.
possibly done for someone to want to steal their porch?
I don't know. All I know is
It's
you
just how
can't have
Detroit is.
shit in Detroit.
Things must be real rough in Detroit.
It's
You steal
not
people's
good.
front porches.
Detroit's having a rough time of it.
I like how they left his
Welcome.
address, his welcome mat and his address plate.
Yep, he gets
You
to
gotta
keep
welcome
those.
people still.
I wonder how much a front porch goes for on the black market.
I could not tell you.
I can't Google black market. Don't have access to that. I think.
Blackmarket.org.
Take me to the dark web.
www.darkwebpliz.com.
But yeah, I can't have shit in Detroit is just a phrase that lives rent free in my head
mean,
like all the time.
as it
Anytime
should.
something bad happens, basically.
It's taking root as we speak.
So fucking Tachibana learns the hard way that you can't have shit in Japan. And the writer girls learn the hard way that they done fucking goofed. Because the worst part is they're just kind of sitting there chilling. And then one of them goes, "Hey, we've been in here for a bit. And that guy who led us here isn't here. Girls, did we make a mistake?" And then I do feel it is important to note that we are plus a girl. We are not minus a girl. We are plus a girl.
Yes, Hiromi is also
Yes,
here.
Hiromi is here, which unfortunately I said this during the episode, but I will say it again here. I think this means we're operating at a deficit. I do not think these women understand how important Goro is to the dynamic, although I guess in the second episode they come to realize because he shows up for that one.
They get some rotations. Like sometimes people are missing and
Yeah.
Goro will be there, and then Goro will be gone and someone else is there. It's it's a rotating cast.
You know, keep it fresh.
I mean, all things considered, Hiromi, outside of her impromptu, like, ham radio ASMR, was pretty okay. Like, I remember it was, like, I think literally the second episode where she was like, "Someone's outside," and Duriko just, like, opened the window. Like, that was the moment I was like, "Hiromi, I understand you. We've bonded at the soul, but you should have killed her."
You should have pushed her right out that
Yeah.
window.
The real thing is, Hongo, sure, he went to Europe. Ruiko? No. Ruiko,
Where is
was
Ruiko?
taken care of by Hiromi.
Oh shit!
Just saying.
You think Hiromi took Ruiko out of the picture so that she could
Justice.
be the main girl? And then she was immediately
so that she could
asserts-
stop endangering her life with shocker agents when she says there's someone outside.
Well, damn, she
doing a
she
very
done
bad
fucked
job
up,
of
huh?
Yeah.
She was like, let me join the fucking brain cell gang. They'll keep me safe from Shocker.
I never said she was smart. I just said that's the reason why her Rimiko is
She had a plan,
And she
it
executed
technically
it.
worked.
Somewhat
and then it stopped working.
somewhat unrelated, I am just realizing why I thought this dapper dastardly man's cane looked so strange. It just kind of looks like a big old Slim Jim. It's so tiny. It's very, very
Yeah?
thin.
Snap in the spice.
Snap it.
I need to see this Slim Jim now. I need to-
Show me the Slim Jim
Like
ass cane.
It's got like a little metal tip, but otherwise it's like incredibly thin. I don't think you could actually put weight on this thing. It looks like a Slim Jim.
It's the pudding on the Ritz cane.
It's got that like dark brown red color that a Slim Jim
God, it
has.
kinda
It's only
does.
missing that like veiny texture.
I can
Ugh.
think of one thing that the cane might be made out of.
It's still not that texture, I don't think. And it's still very thin. It's still very, very small and thin.
So what you're saying is he's got a pencil.
For a cane. Not falling for your trickery. That was such a pointless tangent.
Well, that's what we look for here
I
on
just
this
think his
podcast.
cane looks like a Slim Jim.
This is-
Motherfucking tiny cane over here.
If we remove
the
the pointless tangents, that'd be it.
we just wouldn't have a
Wouldn't have a
podcast.
podcast.
Yeah, it'd be
Quite
silence.
frankly, I need to
God,
check
does
this. I'm gonna-
Oh no, we had that conversation off podcast. If I talk about how this man has a low IQ, it won't make any sense.
Oh boy.
I
Anyways,
will, yeah, I will
You
say,
have
Snidely
DM
Whiplash
King
is
Pads for that.
here.
boys, IQ's not looking great. might need to study up some, son.
So the girls
SAT
fucked up big
scores.
time. So the girls are...
Yes, they messed up.
I'm
They messed
trying
up.
so hard. I'm trying so hard to take this wheel. Steer the ship. It's a
Take us
fucking
away.
squall. It's a squall in here.
Even I'm succumbing. Please take us.
My dark powers.
Damn squall.
Oh my goodness.
Snidely Whiplash. So they realize the doors are locked,
Mhm.
and they're like, "Oh fuck, we fucked up, girls." And from a secret door,
The secret
Snidely
compartment,
Whiplash emerges
along with two shocker
with a couple
goons.
shocker goons. Yeah, and Tachibana,
Yep.
who has been taken prisoner.
Basically, they're like, here's the plan. We're going to take you all prisoner. Kamen Rider's going to show up. We're going to murder him.
This has worked so good the last
Worked so
19
well,
times
yeah.
we did it.
All the other times we tried this shit. But,
It's gonna work this time, I
Yeah,
promise.
super definitely going to work. I believe my brain wants to say from there, do we go straight into a fight scene? Let's see. Oh, no, not yet.
No.
It's because
Almost, though.
Hayato is still looking for the girls.
Mm-hmm.
And
He's spending some quality time with Yoshi P.
yeah, he's
Uh-huh.
laying the groundwork, if you will, for
Mhm.
a relationship of sorts with Yoshi P, a sort of working relationship, if you will.
A little bit of bonding.
Yeah,
Professional partners.
professional partners.
Mhm.
Him and Yoshi P. Is that slander? Can we get sued for that? Is Yoshi P about to fucking come after my ass?
Yoshi P generally seems like a pretty cool guy,
Cool.
and I don't imagine we're really on his radar. But
hope
if he
not.
wants an apology, I will happily deliver one. We're just having a rib
Yep.
because we were trying to remember Yoshioka's name, and we just said Yoshi something and Professor Yoshi, and my brain just
That-
farted that out.
That being said,
Sorry,
Yoshi,
Mr. P.
We're sorry,
Yoshi
Mr. P.
P.
Mr. P.
if you are in fact a fan of our podcast, you should try to get a Kamen Rider raid in Final Fantasy XIV, now with an extensive free trial up to level 60, including the first award-winning expansion pack, Heavensward.
And give
Yoshi
Action
P.
Shakespeare a free sub.
Yeah, give Action
Yeah,
Shakespeare
Yoshi P,
a
explain
free
to me
sub.
why I have a hat that can only be worn by girls, Yoshi P.
Fuck
What?
I have a hat in my armoire for some reason. I don't know. Maybe I just found it amusing, the fact that I had it and didn't want to get rid of it. But it's just a hat. But it can only be worn by girls.
Girls only.
Dang.
What sense does that
So
make?
Sunday can't wear it.
It doesn't.
I
I don't understand.
It's for
Can't-
girls.
does not
Well, you see,
compute.
it's for girls.
Oh shit, you're right. I didn't understand it at
Don't
first, but
get
now
it.
I do. Any,
But you know what's also for girls? Kamen Rider.
it is. Kamen Rider is
Because
absolutely
Kamen
Well-
Rider's
girls.
for everybody.
Kamen
Yep.
Rider for girls.
Kamen Rider for girls.
Yo, Kamen Rider
The
for
dating
girls. Like,
sim.
hey, Bamco, hi, come over here, come in real close. It's me, your good friend King Fats. I will buy Kamen Rider for girls so hard. If y'all wanted to make
I'll
like a Kamen
pre-order.
Rider dating sim where I could date Kamen Riders, God, that would just be so sexy of you if you did that. Like, that'd be so hot. Anyway, just like think about it. I don't know. Maybe if you want to do it, call me. It's fine or whatever. You
I
don't
need
have
to
to.
Get a little thing of hair in my fingers. So I can start
But you
playing
should,
with it.
like, you should. It would be cool. It'd be so
Like, I mean,
groovy if you like did
like,
that, and then maybe you can take my
real
pictures or
cool.
something. Whatever.
Oh,
it's
God.
you.
I think I
Last
like that.
last time I did a Valley Girl voice,
It went
apparently
real
turned
fucking
into
bad. It didn't go great.
It apparently
Every time I do one for streams, everyone says shut up, so something awful must happen.
I don't think have you ever done a Valley Girl accent on stream? I've never heard it.
It's probably like been a while. I don't know. I've done
Yeah,
it before
I've-
though.
That's
I've
very
heard
good.
it before. I know you and Words were doing that like for a while during Chain of Memories.
Oh God,
It's
gag me
kind of
with
our
a
thing to
spoon.
be like
at
really
some
obnoxious.
point, at some point, we went really fucking crazy during Chain of Memories and just started breaking
really?
That's what I've come to understand is that apparently Chain of
Memories.
Memories just turned into an absolute
broke
shit
us.
show.
Yes, it did.
Yes. It broke us in many ways.
Hey, you know what else is an absolute
the
shit
one
show?
Love
person who watched it all.
It was wonderful.
Anyway,
Time well spent.
Speaking of wonderful time well
yeah,
spent.
wonderful time well
Kamen
spent.
Rider.
Kamen Rider.
Kamen Rider podcast.
So Yoshi P and Hayato are looking for people, and they stumble across Koizumi's camera, which it is helpful in the situation just specifically because Yoshi P is here, and he's like, "Yo, that's Koizumi's camera. I know for sure that's Koizumi's camera." From this, Hayato is able to confer that maybe he fell down the waterfall. Hayato's like, "I'm gonna go climb up and see if maybe I can find something." Yoshi P's like, "I'm gonna head back down to the mountain and see if I can get some help." All right, plan, great
Sensible.
plan, right.
Smart.
So Hayato climbs
Brilliant man. Probably the smartest man in all of Kamen Rider who is not a Kamen Rider.
up. Yeah, probably. I mean, he is a scientist.
Yeah.
So we get a fun scene of, it's either Hayato or a stunt double, but they just actually climb a rope up this mountain. That was fun. I had a good time.
We get
we
to
just-
watch every second.
Yeah, we just watched like the full 20 seconds of that.
Yep. So this dude climbs a rope up a mountain. I think just like as soon as he gets up there, he gets attacked, right?
Virtually.
Yep.
Yeah.
Basically.
Here's how I have this whole scene written out in my little notes thing I took. While Hayato is looking for the girls with the professor, they find the first professor's camera, and Hayato thinks he may have fell down the waterfall. Hayato investigates while the professor finds help. Hayato is attacked by Shocker. It is bam.
Just a quick review. We get one cutaway back to the base where everybody's being held captive, and a goon says, "Oh, he's coming."
Yes, that's right. Yeah.
It's time-
They've got
Get these
cameras on.
people into our fun prison set that we want to use again, and
If you build it.
we'll get cracking. Yeah, we'll get cracking on a fun waterfall fight scene.
It is a fun waterfall fight scene. I tell you what. Again, just like with the last time that we were on a mountain with some river side stuff, we did a lot of stuff that was fun with it, with the choreography, and we do a lot with the water actually in the choreography of this episode, especially in the Dokugander fights. But yeah, Kamen Rider gets attacked.
I've written down finally some violence.
Yeah, we went this episode went a good chunk of being just exposition, because I'm pretty sure this
13 minutes and 30 seconds
Yeah.
of not fighting.
Doesn't this first fight scene actually happen post the like commercial break?
Yes, it
Yeah.
does.
Yeah, so we really just like set shit up for the first part of this episode, and then we start paying it off.
This is not a complaint, actually. Like, all things considered, I think these 2 episodes were really strong
Yeah.
after my shaky opinion on the last 2.
Oh yeah, they are.
These just felt better for some reason, and I
These
think
were
it had a lot
significantly
to do.
better than the last 2 episodes, and I do think it does have to do with the fact that they spent so much time setting up the plot.
And they did that probably because it was a 2-parter and probably very much intended it to be so.
Yeah.
So, like, I feel like it all worked pacing wise. It was like, yeah, all right, this is fun.
Yeah.
we're having good beats.
Yeah, they did good stuff with this one. So Hayato pretty much immediately transforms, right?
Pretty much.
And this is
He takes down a few goons first. It's always fun to see Hayato fight like as himself
Yeah.
and transform mid combat. It's pretty.
it's
cool.
always good. This is another henshin transformation, isn't it?
Yes, it is. We get the full thing this time
Yes,
around.
that's right. Yeah. They were, because they had us wait for so long that they were like, here, you get the full sequence. So yeah, we get them do the arm gestures. You know, we get to see the prop of the belt opening up. We get the jump, the rainbow screen. We get the whole 9. We really get everything in this particular transformation scene. And so then Kamen Rider jumps. Yeah, he jumps down the waterfall. So we're in this area where it's a little bit rocky. We've got the waterfall, which has like a basin of water at it, and we've got Kamen Rider and some shocker goons, and we're gonna do a fight scene. It's just a good time. We do a lot of stunts with throwing people into the water. It's fun. I don't think there's too much else to say about this particular fight scene. I know. Oh, go ahead.
The only thing that I really, really found super noteworthy about this fight scene, outside of just like the setting, was the really cool like shot they did of how he landed at the base of the waterfall.
Yes, that was a great
yeah.
shot.
Yeah. I think we all made a note of that one. Because, that shit was so cool.
Yeah, that was
Something I did want to bring up, though.
Please.
Is if you pause at, 14 minutes in, pretty much exactly, you can see the wear and tear on the actual suit.
Ooh.
And I'm wondering if that was
I want to see
filmed
this.
afterwards. Because I don't think... No, I mean, I guess it is there. In other scenes, it's just not as noticeable, but it is still interesting, if probably not intentional, because of all the water fighting, just ruining it a little bit.
Yeah, I imagine all of that water probably fucked up that suit pretty bad.
A little bit.
Especially
there's a
because
thing that
it's a
happened
leather suit.
in a later part. There's a later part with Dokugander that also has a thing. One thing I will point out that I just noticed, because I wanted to see what Gopher was talking about.
Yeah.
But one thing I did notice, just a fun little detail of Kamen Rider's design. He has 2 little green wing patterns on his back.
Yes, if I recall correctly, Hongo had this as well.
Yep.
I never noticed that before. That's delightful.
Yeah.
I need to update his wrestler model.
The biggest design differences are the... I believe Hongo does not have the stripes on his arms,
No.
whereas
No, he does not.
Hayato does.
I want to say there are some differences with the helmet as well between V1 and V2, but I don't know exactly what they are.
I think it's also a stripe.
Yeah, I think it's also
There's
a stripe.
Silver
make
stripe
sense.
on...
And I think the color is
Hayato's
slightly
head.
different as well.
Yeah, it's like blue.
Yeah, like
Ever so slightly.
Hongo's is like
It's-
kind of a tealish green, whereas did I say Hayato?
I
Or
have-
did I say Hongo?
You said Hongo.
Okay,
You
yeah.
said Hongo.
Hongo is like a tealish green, and Hayato's is more of a kind of like a foresty green.
Yeah, I've done research for the plushie.
And a wonderful
And-
plushie that is, by the way.
Oh, thank
Very
you.
wonderful.
And this is the biggest things I've taken away from it is that, oh, the stripes. That's how I'll tell them apart when they actually group up.
Yeah, pretty much.
Pretty much.
That, and I think once V1 and V2 start working together, I think if it isn't already, Hayato's scarf changes color. Because I think Hongo gets the red scarf, and I believe Hayato's turns white.
That would make it a lot more interesting. Or not interesting, easier to decipher.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
But don't quote me on that, because I'm not 100% sure.
I gotta quote
Hey.
you on it when I make my plushie, and it's wrong because there's a white scarf on it.
Resident Kamen Rider expert King Fats told me.
Long-time watcher.
The longtime watcher himself told me.
What? Why are you doing this to me?
No, I'm sorry.
Wow. Just completely backs out of the bully.
I'm so sorry.
It's fine, Fats. The scarf isn't there's no stitches on the scarf. I just folded it like a real scarf.
Nice. Good detail.
That's pretty cool. Anyways,
Anyhow,
there's a fight.
yeah, we got a fight scene. We're beating up some shocker grunts. Dokugandar shows up. We beat up Dokugandar a bit.
Well, Dokugandar shows up in the form of our Snidely Whiplash.
Yes, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Who reveals himself with a really, really fun little, like, tips the top hat towards the camera and drags it down, and when he
Which-
drags it all the way down, it's Dokugandar!
Yep.
Perhaps one of my favorite transitions of any enemy here.
It's definitely
Yeah,
one of the
I
best
mean,
ones we've
They
gotten.
put the work in.
Yeah,
It's not just a smash cut as somebody's turning
like I know
or
you
ripping
can
off
tell
their own face.
because like some of the lighting's a little different, and the
Yeah, I mean, you can see the cut.
yeah you can see the cut. But dang, if it isn't actually like effective in what it does.
Yeah, it's. I mean, I do think I still, just because I love the prestige of it, I do think I like the Connie Bubbler Hawaiian shirt guy into crab monster transition just a little bit more. But this is a great transition still. Especially with just the way he starts looking versus the way he ends looking. It's I like. There's no up
Yeah, no,
or
that's
down
very
on
fair.
the intimidation scale. We just go laterally in silly territory.
A little bit.
But yeah, so Dokugandar and Kamen Rider fight for a bit. I think Dokugandar like hides behind the waterfall into the chakra base or something. I forget exactly how this fight
Yeah,
ends.
he escapes into it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He escapades, and so it's back to looking for our heroes. Let's see. Yes. Yes. So Tachibana and the girls. I mean, I think this happened. Yeah, this happened before the fight, but we should actually cover it again real quick, just because it does contain important information. Which is that the girls, we mentioned that the girls in Tachibana get put into the prison before Dokugandar goes out to fight. They're talking about like, what are they going to do? How is Hayato going to find us? And Tachibana mentions that there is an emitter. There's like a high frequency transmitter of some kind in Tachibana's pipe. So after the Dokugandar runs away, Hayato goes back to trying to search for the group, and he finds Tachibana's pipe, and that helps lead him to the chakra base.
Mm.
He finds out the chakra base is behind the waterfall. He goes behind the waterfall. We get a nice little kind of cavern, waterfall cavern set. I personally just like the way it looked. Kamen Rider breaks into this base and is caught on film by Dokugandar. And one of the shocker grunts, which is where we get a great scene of, Kamen Rider comes in, he gets caught on camera trying to rescue his friends, and so Dokugander's like, go prepare the prisoners. Yeah.
I have this written down. I have just written down.
Yep, same.
It's
Every single individual person they drag out of the thing is associated with a singular.
it's fucking great. It's been a while since we've last had fun with the sound effects made by our shocker grunts, so I'm really glad that we got to get some good ones for this episode. 'Cause there was something about just that first specifically
Destroyed us.
it really
Yeah,
did tickle all of us. Oh jeez. So yeah, Hayato is looking for the others, and he gets caught in Dokugander's really dumb, like, Dokugander starts really good, turns really bad trap. So what happens is Kamen Rider walks into a room, and they close the door on him, right? And so he is in a room that looks like, it's totally flush. You can't scale the walls. Nowhere possible for him to go, right? Except for maybe if he busts through the wall, which you would assume he can't do. So
He gives it a couple good punches.
yeah, he gives it a couple good punches and doesn't budge. So that's how you know. So you would think, oh, we're playing the compression game again. We're gonna try and squeeze him. But instead we open one of the flush wall door things to another room where Kamen Rider is trapped behind bars. He's like in a cell, so he gets to watch his friends be tortured.
As they're
Tortured.
Well,
crucified on telephone
Yeah.
poles.
Everyone but Mari is getting tortured.
Mari,
I don't know. To B's point, I don't know. Everybody who isn't Tachibana is letting out some noises, which is just sort of the reality of sort of making moans and groans of like, oh, ow, and not like. And
I
not
think
going
you could
screaming.
sell it a little better.
you
Oh,
could
yeah.
Mostly with
absolutely.
facial expressions.
Yeah.
Particularly, these
Yeah.
ladies were looking like a 50s movie damsel with the most barely they look like they heard a noise while they were asleep but have not woken up.
I think Mari is even smiling.
She might be.
Tachibana is throwing his whole ass into
Yeah.
looking like he's suffering, and Mari's just like,
Well, you know how Mari do.
I guess she's just a freak.
Yeah, she is absolutely. Look, if there is one thing I know about Mari from watching this show, it is that she is a genetic freak, and she is not normal.
That ain't genetic.
Don't you wish your girlfriend was... God.
Yeah,
I
so Mari's having a great
support
time.
Mari and chasing her bliss. I
Me
want to stay for the
too.
record.
Yeah, you know what?
And I feel like we've been bullying Mari for her never-ending thirst.
Yeah, look, I am.
I
You
feel
know-
she's valid, okay?
Yeah, I'm
She's
certainly
valid.
one to
She's
fucking
just-
talk. Like, you do you, girl.
Yeah,
God.
right.
We're gonna live on Tatooine if she's ever unleashed onto our earth.
This moisture
gonna
levels
suck everything
bone
dry.
dry.
Yeah, well, I'll be in line. I always wanted to choose the form of my destroyer. Slurp me up, baby. I want to go out like a Capri Sun.
Anyways, yes, I have it written down that tortured but sexily, which I think is direct quote from B.
Yeah.
So I have this thing I say a lot when I watch things with people. Basically, when I'm making fun of usually artists, but honestly occasionally actors, who, like, when their characters are injured in battle, they, like, fall over, but, like, sexy.
Yeah,
So,
no,
it's, like,
that's...
tortured, but, like, sexy.
I know
But, like,
exactly what you were
sexy.
talking about, because I'm sure you guys have seen, because it's making rounds again, or at least it has made rounds again. Now that footage of tall vampire lady from Resident Evil 8 is circulating. The fucking footage of that guy on the beach where he's running away from the cameraman. Right, and that fall he does.
Yes.
It's
Yes.
that fall.
Oh no. Yeah.
I love that.
I
Oh
fucking
god, I love that
that
video.
video. It's so
That's B getting chased by Jason.
Yep, basically.
This isn't about me.
It's
Wait.
me getting chased by Mari, let's be honest.
I'll actually run from her. Maybe she scares me a
Yeah,
little.
well, she'll give you the Capri Sun treatment too if you aren't careful. There you go. Mari kills B ASMR.
Okay.
I just gonna kill me
I
when
forgot
they need
how
to
this
die in honorable
scene-
combat of swords.
I forget how this scene properly proceeds, but it does just sort of end up with Kamen Rider bending the bars like a fucking cartoon strong.
No, that's exactly what happens.
Yeah,
They start getting tortured. Kamen Rider's
just
like,
it.
stop this, and then he just bends the bars because that's the thing he's
Like
been
a-
proven to be able to do
Like an
80
ape in the
times.
zoo.
Yeah. Gives him the fucking Harambe and busts out. He starts squaring up with Dokugandr. Dokugandr tries to hit him with a hot fire. He dodges, which blows up the console that was the Star Trek console that was electrocuting our friends.
Yeah.
This is absolutely just a console with like
straight up.
slide in
Blinking lights on a freaking like cabinet. That's all this thing is.
They took
Love
a
it.
cabinet, they put some lights in it, and then they took those like black transparent sheets of film that they just put some colored lines on it and slid those into the slots.
Made some geometric shapes
Yeah.
so it looks all technological and official. So it's Dokugandr and one goon.
Yeah.
I think maybe two, but one is taken out with the computer.
Yep.
The other one is remaining, and the collective force of all of Kamen Rider's friends, as soon as they're not being tortured, just are in the background while Kamen Rider is fighting Dokugandr in the foreground, and they are just laying clubs onto this fucking poles. And when Dokugandr escapes, he's gone. And they beat that man to dust.
You know what they did?
And I'm talking every single person, all three Rider girls. Hiromi? Is that her? I've already forgotten.
Yes.
Yeah,
her
Hiromi.
name. Is that her?
Yeah, all the
Hiromi?
Rider girls, Hiromi,
Yeah,
Tachibana.
I got it. Okay, Hiromi, all three Rider girls, and Tachibana. Just
Yeah, what they do is they beat them
great.
into submission and then they
it's
feed
all
them
I
to
can
Mari.
focus on.
And she took care of the rest.
You
No
know how
cleanup,
this
no
story
mess,
goes.
no problem.
Yeah.
Sucked them into oblivion.
I don't even remember anymore from there. we get the Gokugandr. I've apparently labeled him in my notes Gokugandr on accident. Which would have been a very
It's me,
different
Gokugandr.
fight. Hey, it's me, Gokugandr.
Wonderful.
Challenging the Kamen Rider next. I hope he's strong.
Tune
in next time.
Kamen Rider would win.
No, we're not gonna. do
We're
that.
not doing this.
Nope,
I'm
nope,
gonna
not
fucking-
even.
Anyway, Gokugandr and Kamen Rider square up after Tachi and the girls are able to escape. Tachi and the girls they deal with some Rider goons in the hallways as No, Taki has not shown. Yeah, Taki's not in this episode at all.
Yeah, Taki's not in this episode. He's home with his wife.
For once.
We can only assume.
He was having a conversation about what he's going to do at the end of next episode, but we'll get to that.
Oh my.
I know, I believe it.
That might have come up.
So Taki and the Tachibana and the girls deal with some shocker grunts, and then Tachibana sees a room that has a sign on it that's in shocker language, but it's fine because it also has a big ass picture of a bomb on it. And Tachibana's not
Tachibana
blind.
remembers. Tachibana remembers that last episode that took place in the mountains and goes,
So he
let's get this going.
Yeah, he busts in and sure as shit, there's just boxes and boxes of explosives. And we have proven from his 2 smoking breaks this episode that Tachibana always keeps that motherfucking thing on him. So
God, you're right. Yeah, we were joking about that, but I forgot that there's just evidence on screen of why he would be carrying a lighter.
Yep.
Yeah, it was a setup.
Yeah.
That's weirdly good storytelling.
Right?
So yeah, he opens a box of explosives, he pulls out the fuse, he lights it, and is like, let's fucking go. And this is
ladies.
Ladies. I wouldn't want to blow up the ladies.
And yet he makes the fuse so short.
That was short to you? That was a comically
longer.
long fuse.
It seemed kind of short. I know you said Muppet Treasure Island, but it wasn't quite there yet.
Quite there, but it was a pretty long fuse. It was long enough, I think.
For a fuse that you need to escape a Nazi building.
Look, you don't want the Nazis
before
to
it
have a chance to
explodes?
escape. You got to find a middle
true.
ground.
It's a tough equation.
Not to mention, we all know that Tachibana is willing to die for this
Exactly.
cause.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
be it if it happens. If he can take out an entire base.
He would have made it shorter if the
doing
girls
it.
weren't there.
You know,
give
he'd
them a chance to live.
Yeah, no. I guess if the girls weren't there, he probably would have just lit up the smoke and then just threw it on the fire.
Yeah. Also, Shrakes, I just wanted to say, you don't have to worry about your fun little Goku Gander mishap here, because apparently at some point in time, while writing the notes for this episode, I accidentally put it down as Koku Gander.
Yep.
Drink Koku Gander.
Drink.
Have some.
Drink.
It's not a drink, more like a drink.
It's like- okay.
More after this.
But yes, this subsequent fight with Goku Gander,
And his brother Koku Gander.
I'm only continuing to call him that because this is what I wrote down in the note when I made a note of it. I definitely noticed they crash into the river, like they get like kind of both of them submerged pretty good.
Yeah.
And there's a pretty floppy like little tail piece of Dokugander's suit,
That thing probably gets ruined.
and I distinctly saw that fall off and start floating down the river
There you go.
when they get tackled in.
Yeah,
I
they're.
don't remember that.
It's like for like half a second, and they clearly fixed it or did other scenes first.
I'd be very
Afterward.
interested to learn about the filming of this scene, because there are definitely shots where like you see one of them take a stunt into the water, and then there's a cut. Like there was one scene I remember actually very specifically. Kamen Rider. I want to say the thing was actually like a back body toss, but it kind of looks like he was setting up for a Canadian destroyer. I think that's part of the reason why I remember this.
Naturally.
So you know, pseudo Canadian into like back body drop, but he drops Doku Gander like straight into like a little pool of water. He gets like fully submerged, and then there's a cut, and he pops back up, and he's totally dry. It like very noticeably like, oh, they had to dry him for this scene. So I'd really be interested.
Get another Goku Gander.
Yeah, because I mean, they fucked up. I am happy that they did, because this was a great fight scene with a lot of good visuals because of it. But they fucking annihilated those suits in that water.
Yeah, they really did. I guess is this where I forget if this was established earlier or he doesn't pull this out until this fight where he has poison spray, but the poison is explosions.
This was established earlier. This was established in the first fight.
Okay. I just
It's
want to
still
make
really
that
good, though.
perfectly clear that he spits explosions.
The most deadly poison of all.
You're right.
Then he gets Ryder kicked off the waterfall and turns into a peanut.
He does turn into a large peanut.
Definitely turns into a large white peanut.
A massive white peanut.
Just
Charlie
a
Brown.
real big peanut.
It looks like a giant
big-headed
Johnson!
white kid.
What are you seeing on the radar? God.
Oh god, no, I'm forgetting where that's
Talk
from.
about jokes that went unappreciated in their time. I didn't quite understand that joke when I first watched The Spy Who Shagged Me when I was a little kid. Coming back to it later with the experience, that sequence is fucking hysterical.
God.
Remember back when the Austin Powers movies were good? Pepperidge Farm remembers.
I was gonna say no, but no, I actually.
I
Really
mean, the
like
first two were, yeah.
It's a very funny movie. That's a different shagadelic. You know,
different
we'll throw
podcast, baby.
Mary in that universe.
$75 million on the Patreon, and we'll cover all Austin Power movies in all languages in one sitting.
Wait,
Especially the
I
one
don't
where
know
he
about-
kills James Bond.
I'll kill Bond in this one. Yeah. He doesn't stand a chance,
are
baby.
I don't know, for $75 million a month, I think I'd do it, yeah? Doesn't matter.
I mean, I would. It's.
well,
I,
you know what? That's
I
fair.
don't think it's as much content as you think it is, Gopher. There was only 3 movies.
Yeah, well, it's in all languages it's ever been dubbed in, too.
Okay, but that's probably like 4 languages?
Yeah.
We are not equipped to properly critique the performance of the dubbers, the dub voice actors.
Yeah.
No,
All we can say is like,
It's-
that was Spanish.
no, we have the same critiques.
Yeah, I was going to
We
say.
don't need
we're-
to comment
we're
on the
gonna
dub.
get into some till death do us Blart territory really quickly on that.
God. So it's a big
Paul
peanut.
Blart Mulfart. let's do that for $50 million.
Oh, well, then we'll be
Long
stepping on every
time here
podcaster's
first.
toes.
We'll do a
We're going to start beef with the
20-hour
McElroys.
literary
Is that what you
analysis
want?
of Paul Blart Mollicott for $50 million.
Long time Pauler, first time Blarter.
Gonna fucking draw the ire of the Appalachian Mountains upon us.
The
Griffin's
peanut
in
slowly
fucking Austin. He'll
floats
come kick my ass.
down the ocean.
I will sincerely review the live-action Grinch Stole Christmas movie for $30.
Yeah, I'd do
Okay,
that for
yeah,
20.
sure.
Shit.
No one here can pay me for it.
No, I'm agreeing.
You
Yeah,
out
we're-
there
we're-
Oh,
listening
you're going
to
to
this
join in.
record.
Yeah.
Thank God.
Yeah,
Yeah, you got a crew. I
movie's
fucking love
awesome.
that movie.
yeah.
Love
Hey,
that movie.
we're getting
$30
distracted.
a month on the page. And the peanut
so
floats
distracted.
down the stream, and they're like, "Okay, we've done it. The peanut is not something we need to concern ourselves about. Let's
Yeah,
wave
we
goodbyes
Okay,
and
just
just
are-
leave."
They just left it. But-
It is mind-boggling how little consideration they give this thing that they acknowledge is a cocoon.
I mean, yeah, they have
themselves.
they have Hayato have some moments of reflection about its existence, but that's about
And
it.
he just kind of looks at it and he's just like, yeah.
Please,
And
please consider the very, very, very important fact that Hayato was busy.
it's
I
true.
mean-
He had some.
Okay.
He and Yoshi P rode off into the sunset on the same motorcycle.
he had-
Okay,
He
B,
just had his
He had
priorities.
some shit
set.
to do.
He
B,
had his
B, who was he riding off with? The other guy who knew exactly how important.
Again, priorities.
okay. Then
Both of
pick
them.
it up and put it in a microwave.
That's
I
not
know,
gonna
right?
fit in
Like,
the microwave.
He's too big. He's too big.
Okay,
Light it on fire, get some gasoline.
then,
He's
like,
wet.
Dry it off first.
Look,
Get some hair dryers.
Pat it dry, blot it dry.
as
And then burn it.
Put it in a box, save it for later, and then do your thing, and then come back and deal with the Nazi cocoon butterfly Mothman.
I just want to be happy for Hayato for 2 minutes,
as
okay?
a man
It's
with some of the
probably
same
been-
proclivities as Hayato, all I am going to say is that you hear a lot about clarity that is achieved after certain activities. It does not extend to memory. You do not necessarily remember that shit you had to do 45 minutes after the fact.
Wow, 45 whole minutes.
Well, I mean, it depends.
and anyway, that was Kamen Rider episode 20, Fire Breathing Caterpillar Monster
Dokuganda.
Dokuganda.
Goku
Gokuganda.
Drink Kokuganda.
Stick around for more Shrek.
Stick around for more
Shrek
Paul Blart.
Forever After, reviewed for $50,000.
Stick around for more allusions to
Goku Blighter.
Hayato's sex life as
we have
we
to
take
go.
you to the ad reads. Well, hello friends, it's King's Fats 95th here with a little bit of information for you as we take our break. We want to remind you that if you want to keep up to date with the podcast and everything we're doing, check us out on Twitter at First Ride Pod. That's going to be where we're going to post all of our updates, including things like new episodes and announcements for fun things. If you want to check out each of our podcast hosts individually, we each have our own individual Twitters that you can check out. I myself am at KingFats95. You can check out the Magical Will Gopher at Will Gopher. You can check out Action Shakespeare at That Gallon Hat. And you can check out B-Drops at B-Drops Art. If you like what you're hearing from Shakespeare and B-Drops specifically and you want to hear more from them, why not check out Tales of Harbor? It's an actual play Twitch stream of the OVA system that happens every other Friday. It stars Action Shakespeare and B-Drops along with Public Opinion RP, and it is DM'd by Wordsy, our wonderful editor for the show. You can check them out on Twitter at Harbor Tales, and you can use the hashtag Tales of Harbor, that's capital T Tales, capital O-F, capital H Harbor, to promote the show. And if you do that, you can have your name used as an NPC in the game. You can also check out the pinned tweet on that Twitter page to suggest magical items that the player characters can purchase in-game. So if that sounds like a lot of fun to you, go ahead and check it out. If you want to watch Tales of Harbor, you can check them out live on Twitch at twitch.tv/Wordsy, or you can check out their YouTube channel where Wordsy uploads the previous sessions. So if that seems like something you're interested, go check it out. Now we go back to our Kamen Rider action.
There. Welcome back from the ad read.
Oh, have we said it?
It's never been questionable, Art.
No, I want to keep the ribbing personally.
Never. Wordsy will have to listen to this, and those are for Wordsy's ears only.
Ring-a-goo-goo.
I'm not ashamed of my crimes. I'm willing to let our audience judge me.
That was the saddest ring-a-goo-goo that ever did.
It escaped sympathetically.
So defeated. We have to talk about Kamen Rider.
This
And
episode
talk
is
about
called
Kamen Rider we will.
Dokuganda Confrontation at Osaka Castle.
You want to try for the Japanese since you went with Dokuganda?
Dokuganda, Osaka Jo no Taiketsu.
Yeah, we got
I don't
B.
Nice.
speak Japanese.
But you can read.
It's not. No, it's not on Shout Factory. It uses the Japanese name, but then the English like subtitle.
Japanese,
Yeah.
please don't say to prove it. Maybe I forgot it when the music got interlude. All right.
Yeah. So as B very kindly said for us, Dokuganda Osaka Jo no Taiketsu, episode 21, air date August 21st, 1971. Again, no plot, just a synopsis. So here we go into the synopsis. Ooh, excuse me. Impersonating the biologist, Professor Koizumi, the mature Poison Mothdar?
Oh, it keeps changing.
Anyway, the Poison Mothdar seeks the medicine invented by Assistant Professor Yoshi P. So this episode starts, this episode actually kind of starts with a recap-ish. It's kind of just about what happened to Koizumi and then what happens to Dokugandar.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not a full recap. It's like a pseudo recap.
The important part.
Yeah, they hit the important story beats for early on in the episode, which is Koizumi is dead, Dokugandar's in a pupa. If Dokugandar is in a pupil, call the police.
Peanut.
A peanut.
Peanut. Did you know George Washington Carver made the first computer out of a peanut?
I don't know why I was so certain you were about to say George Washington Carver invented the peanut.
Me too.
No, I was
ready for
just
that
quoting
too.
Undercover Brother.
It'd be such a
It
good
really
shit
would
post,
be.
though.
Did you know?
Oh wait, yeah, that is where that comes
Yeah.
from, isn't it?
My good friend conspiracy brother.
You know, my father has such a verbose reference vocabulary that it just through osmosis I get a lot of it, and sometimes I forget where it
No, that's
comes
fair.
from.
I've been thinking about Undercover Brother a lot recently because for the first time in God only knows how many years I've listened to, because my mom was playing it, I heard Mary J. Blige's Family Affair again, and I was immediately, like as soon as I heard the beat, the face of the white dude that works for the man came into my mind, and I was thinking about the scene where he's dancing to that song. And yeah, I've just been thinking about the film since then, and also listening to that song a lot. If you haven't listened to Mary J. Blige's Family Affair, do that. Go jam. This
It's
is good.
I always mishear it as it's a family affair.
It's a family affair.
But you know, it's not a family affair. Is our lone scientist Yoshi P, who is at a research facility in Osaka, where he is telling the press about the giant man-sized caterpillar that he saw up in the mountains.
And the press will not stop haranguing
They
him
really
about
fucking won't.
Yo, you got that fucking giant-sized man caterpillar? Show us.
Show me the footage. Pixar, it didn't happen.
I mean,
I am
that's,
busy.
I can,
you know, that's actually a fair
I can't believe that one
response,
guy's
though?
like, show us the pictures. I've got deadlines.
Hurry up! I got shit to do. Come on.
I didn't prepare. My time management skills are garbage. I need a story in 5 minutes. Let's go.
I think that's it's a fair reaction, because you're like, if someone's like, yo, I spotted Bigfoot, you'd be like, give me the pictures, or what do you expect me to...
Fucking picture.
But as I say that, then I realize, wait a minute, we just fought a starfish, so screw
Yeah,
it, I
right.
guess.
At this point.
They should just
I
take
wanna see
this at
pictures
face
of
value.
Bigfoot.
Yeah, that actually,
Indeed.
go for what you just said, does bring up an interesting point about this series, which is that we are 21 episodes in to the adventures of a karate bug man having... We'll go ahead and just go with the real world timeline and say weekly fights with various cyborg monsters, and the whole of the rest of Japan just doesn't seem to know?
That's...
Nope.
Yep, it's always out of sight.
Like, there's only been one time where we hear, like, anything close to the public's view of Shocker through a cop who is like, that doesn't sound real.
Yeah, what?
And then his boat explodes.
Get away from me, freak.
And then his boat
Wow, that's
exploded.
broken.
Completely
And then he
unrelated to
proceeded-
Shocker.
He completely, like, didn't do anything with this experience. He was just like, oh man, it turns out I got credit for something I didn't do. Also, Shocker is real, but, like, I'm probably not really going to inform the Japanese government or police force that this is, like, a threat that needs
Yeah,
to be
especially
addressed.
because we have a known FBI agent on Japanese soil actively investigating this terrorist organization.
I assume he is cooperating with the Japanese government and that they know to
And
a
they're just
degree.
trying to keep things hush-hush.
Yeah, I think it's X-Files
Okay.
shit, you know? Like, they're just like, keep it on the down
Right,
low.
don't cause the
We
public
gotta
panic.
stop these guys, but yeah, we can't just let people know that, like, there's fucking, like, supervillains.
Yeah, that's fair.
trying
But,
to
like,
take over our country
I
every
guess
day.
that's fair. You don't want...
Oh, sorry?
You don't want the people to know about the super Nazis. But
I don't know how they don't, though, given that in canon they have conquered 90% of Mexico. So how could that be covert in
I don't know,
any
maybe
sense?
they replaced the
Fanny,
Mexican government with a Shocker Shadow government. So, like, outwardly, everything
And
looks
just,
the same.
But it didn't. They were like blowing up dams
Yeah.
and stuff. They didn't just covertly take over like the local governments or anything. They literally
You
took
see,
it by
Japan is a very
force.
isolationist nation.
This is the 70s.
I mean,
Exactly.
yeah.
There's
I
no
was going to
internet.
say that I feel like that doesn't help their case.
it's
Not
the
checking
70s written by
international
people
news.
who were probably born in the 40s. Like, that's-
Yeah, actually, Gopher brings up a good point. There are probably a lot of people who are head honchos in the Japanese government now who remember Japan's extensive cooperation with the Nazis and is like, this shit cannot come out to the public. They can't know.
We're trying to wash our hands
Yeah.
of this shit. We cannot let it get out
They can't possibly find
that
out.
we have super
That-
Nazis.
There are no Nazis.
Yeah, there is
in
no Warren
Japan.
Bossing set.
Exactly.
So yes, Koizumi's getting not Koizumi. He's about to show up. Yoshi P. He's getting harangued. He's like, I'm gonna go get you all those pictures, man. Y'all about to see some shit, bruh.
You're gonna go fucking
Scalpel is
ballistic.
fucking huge. Goes into his office. Goes to his desk. Where are the pictures? Where did the pictures come from? And so then out of his vent comes Professor Koizumi.
Extremely
It's
sus.
like insanely sus. Like it literally looks like he vented into the room.
Yeah, he just sort of steps out from behind an
Yeah,
object.
it's like he was standing in between like two fucking bookshelves or something, and he just steps out.
Hello, I'm
Hi,
alive.
it's me.
And real.
And of course Yoshi P is happy to see that his coworker and his friend is alive and real. And his friend coworker is gonna be like, hey, I'm gonna help you with this press, all right? We're gonna get you what you need. And so he immediately proceeds to walk out and go, yo, this motherfucker crazy shit. He hadn't seen nothing, man. Talking about man-sized caterpillar, please.
Hey man, what the
You
fuck?
fool.
Like, totally outs his supposed friends. Even Yoshi P's like, yo,
And
what
he's
the
like,
shit?
they're begging, like, dude, stop it,
Bro, stop, you're scaring off the hose.
well,
You
Yeah.
mean Hayato?
It's,
no, Hayato's there. He's the only one that matters.
Hayato is the one hoe you can't
guess.
stare off. It's Hayato and Mari.
Yeah,
Too
can't
powerful.
shake
Yeah,
her
well,
off with a
I've
stick.
tried.
Please, ma'am.
She keeps coming back for more sticks.
It's just like an all-you-can-eat buffet.
Oh, anyways. So he wants to continue the cover up. Because he does reconvene with him. He's like, shut up.
Yeah.
I got a plan. Because he wants to know what Yoshi P's working on
Yes.
in a very non-suspicious manner.
Yes, this is good setup for what we are going to talk about in the future. But we don't go to there just yet, because pretty much right after Koizumi comes out and denies all of Yoshi P's accusations, we then cut straight to the Motor Club and Tachibana and his not quite flesh-colored shirt that's just flesh-colored enough in the right light.
Tachibana's just hanging out with his chest bare. I choose to still continue to think that's just what he's doing.
Yeah, it's his
fucking
house.
shop.
Titties
can
out
do
if
what
he wants to.
to.
Who's gonna tell him no? Not me.
Too old to care.
Well,
Are you
no.
gonna tell him no, B? All right.
No. I might avert
That's
my
fine.
gaze.
If only a little.
I, however, will not. Gonna have a fucking laser sight on them titties.
Jeez.
Ma'am.
Did you all wake up? Did you Fats, when you were trying to get your 2 hours of sleep, were you like, I can't get comfortable, and then you shift your bed around so you happen to sleep and then wake up on the horny side of the
I'm
bed?
just like this, I'm gonna be honest.
Gosh. This is...
I think the filter's just off.
Yeah,
today
honestly,
a little bit.
it's
Yeah,
the lack of
your
sleep has
filter's
turned
a
the
bit
filter
more
off. This is just how I am. I apologize.
This is who I am.
This is who I am.
Yeah,
Doctor,
you've gotten...
turn off my horny inhibitor.
What?
Clayton.
Raiden, if you're horny on me, you will lose follower.
So if you haven't noticed, 8 episodes in, this podcast is not PG-13.
No, not even remotely.
I'm very sorry. I'm so very sorry. I advertise this on my channel.
I'm sorry, B.
No,
Sorry
I mean,
to
I
all the-
like this. Children don't listen.
We apologize
In
to all the children who
fairness-
love Kamen Rider.
I apologize for my crimes.
You are not
I
ashamed.
didn't say I was ashamed. I said I apologize.
I don't think that's true.
I can be apologetic.
Probably the extent.
I'm
of
not
our
happy
words.
about the fact
I
that I'm
think-
dragging B's good name through the mud. I'm just doing it.
My name
It's
is
great.
good.
Yeah.
Your name
Yeah,
is
it's a really
B.
good name.
Yeah.
Well, gee.
Once
Oh,
you
shucks.
need a
Anyways,
nice
what?
palate cleanse
No, that's a
from,
different letter.
from being my bullshit, go watch B Drop stream. It's nice and wholesome.
Yeah.
Good
Well,
PG-13
Unless I'm
fun,
wrong.
except for on Sunday.
Yeah, there you go.
Well, it's-
Sunday gets a little.
Well, that's
strange
because on Sunday you let Fiona speak. Sometimes you need to just put a muzzle on her.
Damn.
As someone who also needs to be muzzled sometimes, I understand.
Well,
Mostly
there's
you right
room
now.
aplenty in gay baby jail.
Look,
see-
sometimes we just need to
see,
have
I
our
think-
rights
I think it was
revoked.
last start. It was like a week or so ago. I'm like, yeah, the podcast is just 2.5 hours of a place we can't put fats in gay baby jail. And what do you know? I stand correct. I stand proven right.
I'm the master
Or
of this
can't
gay
we?
baby jail. I'm not trapped here with you. You're trapped here with me.
Oh yeah, damn it! It is your.
It's my podcast.
Yeah, it's your channel, sir.
I think we could figure this out.
Get him.
Fats can kick us from the group.
Not that I would want to. If anything, I'll just kick myself from the group and
Oh.
let you three do it. Be a better show.
No.
No.
I think you're so smart. You do a fucking podcast.
Do it yourself then if you're so smart too.
Why don't you fucking make it?
Well, you see, I would, but this is a good dynamic. It makes me enjoy the show more.
Yeah, this is a good
Aw.
dynamic.
Yes.
If you,
Your voice is trembling, Gopher.
I can hear the clenched fist. Oh god. Anyway,
It's my fist isn't clenched. It's in a drawing position because I'm drawing all of us with top hats.
fair, very fair and good.
Ooh, fancy.
Oh.
Anyway, Tachibana,
Quiet.
Hayato, and I think it's Hiromi who delivers the newspaper. They're
Yes.
chilling at the Moto Club and they receive a newspaper where, and I guess it was because Hiromi was part of this situation that she thought like, hey, I should go tell them about this. But they all read the newspaper where it talks about Yoshi P and his supposedly falsified claims that he saw a giant caterpillar man in the mountains. And they're like, hey, we were in those mountains. We saw that giant caterpillar man. He's telling the truth. And Tachibana, because he's the smart one, besides Hayato, I guess. Immediately, quick as a whip, is like, do you think that, like, Shocker is trying to cover up his story? And, you know, Hayato's like, if that's the case, they might be after the other professor. So, I think they decide that they're going to go to Osaka. I don't think I wrote down specifically what happens next.
Yeah, that's exactly what they do.
Yeah.
Hayato's like, oh, my squeeze is in danger. Let's go to Osaka.
See, now here's the problem. Is I keep getting yelled at. But B, you keep supporting the narrative.
Listen, was what I said
No,
that
it's
bad?
not that what you said was that bad. It's just that you also agree with me.
I like
Yes,
it.
but you have to understand. There's an old Japanese saying that can be applied to this situation. And that is that a man and a woman will always find time to do what they must.
Okay.
So, if we just go ahead and take the traditional relationship of a man and a woman, and we instead
Sure.
apply it to Hayato and his, quote, main squeeze here, you have to understand that they're going to find time to do what they must.
I mean, listen, I'm not familiar with this saying. Perhaps it just means that everybody needs to poop at some point.
B, I know you've seen Tokyo Godfathers.
I accept this.
You know the saying.
Wait, it is? It's been a while.
Yes, that is specifically from the scene in Tokyo Godfathers where they find the abandoned and burned down home of who they believe is the parent of the child they found. And then all of the local housewives come out and they start talking about them and gossiping.
Mm-hmm.
Dear listeners,
Okay. I guess I just didn't remember.
if you haven't gotten it from now, just kind of connect the dots. Anyway, moving on.
Everybody poop.
we go,
Sorry.
we go back to Koizumi and Yoshi P.
I think we've learned that none of us are innocent in this situation at this current day.
What we really learned is that innocence is overrated. Be yourself, children.
Be
Hey.
yourself.
Yeah, da, 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 da,
Be
da.
your voice is traveling.
The fuck are we talking
We're talking about Koizumi and Yoshi P.
We go to Osaka.
Yeah, they're hanging
Oh,
out in their
yeah.
lab in Osaka where Koizumi's like, yo, Yoshi P, what you working on? And Yoshi P's like, yo, check this out. I made a serum. It makes cocoons grow faster. I
for
I
fun.
personally have no fucking idea how that works. Considering the purposes of the cocoons in question, how do you speed that process up?
I don't know. He was just doing it normal cocoons.
Time travel juice.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Chrono juice.
Chrono juice. I'll
Yeah.
take a sip.
You're
What
now
does the chrono juice
75
do?
years old.
Oh no.
When I want to live life to the extreme, I just crush it to a chrono juice.
Then I get to live all of it. Yeah.
Speaking of crashing into things,
We need to crash back into the
Yeah,
plot.
well, don't worry, we will.
But also the next thing that happens.
that's what I meant.
Oh yeah.
I will let B take the reins then, because I honestly don't remember.
So immediately following that scene, we do cut to Hayato on his way to go see the professor because he's
yes.
worried about him. And for whatever reason, rolling down the hillside onto the road is the biggest white peanut you ever did see. This massive Charlie Brown just plants itself on the road in front of Hayato, and he's like, "Oh!" and he stops. And he dismounts from his bike and jogs over to it, and he's like, "I think I know what that is." But
No.
before he can really do anything about it, it sits upright and beautifully splits open, like like, you know, those fake birthday cakes that people are
I'm
hiding
so
inside
glad
of?
that you said that, B, because as soon as you started describing this scene, my brain went to, well, gee, I always thought it was supposed to be a pretty girl. 18 years we known each other, and now you don't want to see me jump out of the cake. I fucking love that image.
God, that's so freaking good. So lo and behold, who emerges from the cocoon? But you guessed it, Dokuganda, but in a beautiful new form.
Yeah, let us take a second to say,
Mark, quite
for
the
as
glow up.
goofy as the fucking poison, the Dokuganda, the Dokuganda caterpillar suit is, this suit rules. The moth form Dokuganda suit is a absolutely, I mean, great color scheme. The head is fantastic, especially when you get those close-up shots later on.
One of the best,
absolutely stellar.
Yes.
There is, I mentioned it a little bit when we were watching, but if you brought this to a furry convention, you'd get compliments.
Like, the texturing on the fur is stellar.
Very
It looks
fuzzy.
incredibly soft. The wings look great. I mean, this is a damn good
The
suit.
wings are basically a repurposed cape, as far as
Yeah,
I'm
it seems
aware.
like it.
Like one of those kind of like king capes.
and more or less, but it works. It's so
Well, yeah.
good.
So it drapes across the shoulders and down the back really well.
And they also have it attached down
Yeah.
at the wrists.
Yes. So you can move it around and do fun little flying motions.
Yeah, we're gonna get a lot of those in this episode. This is.
With it in like a few minutes.
There's not really much more to say about it than just that this is an awesome suit. This is probably the best suit we have gotten in the series so far, save for maybe like the Chameleon Man suit's pretty solid.
I was gonna say Chameleon Man would
Yeah.
be the one I would maybe take
Yeah.
note of, but outside of that,
yeah,
top
for
two.
sure. For sure. So yeah, Poison Mothdar busts out, and that means it's fight time.
yeah. my note was, we're just doing this. This is like 5 minutes in. It felt
Yeah.
like it's
It
just like,
was
all right, let's
five-
go.
It was
He just-
literally
Yeah,
5
it was.
minutes.
Just rolls into frame. Let's fight.
Rolling Star.
And
It's so delightful.
well, the fight is pretty it's pretty Kamen Rider
Yeah.
stuff. The exit and ending to this fight is something beautiful because he's a moth, he flies away, and they use
Yes.
plane noises.
They use jet noises every time he flies, and I love it.
Like it's a
So
fucking it's a fucking Twin Snakes cutscene.
I guess it makes sense because he's a cyborg, so he's got flight jets, but we never see that.
The jet engines in his ass.
Yeah. Just like 2B canonically.
Yes.
Wait, really?
And I think, and then we
He just
see,
farts around in the sky.
That makes
then
so
we
much more
see-
sense.
and then we see some strings attached. Just
Yes.
really good.
Yes, we have a couple of scenes
Real
that
good.
are like
The string
Listen.
technology is fantastic.
1971. All right. we got little
If-
models that we need to make
if you have
fly.
ever
Little
I'm
action
saying
figures.
It's awesome. It's so good. I'm just saying that, I genuinely love
if you've ever seen the
It's
first
delightful.
Kill Bill movie,
Yeah.
where there's the scene where oh god, what's the name of the actress? Why can I not think of the woman who plays the lead in Kill Bill now? Yes,
Uma
thank you.
Thurman.
There's a scene where Uma Thurman gets on the plane, and it's like clearly a model plane, and you can see the wire, and
Yes.
it's just like that. It fucking rules. It's so good.
I love that shit.
I will say I appreciate that you brought up the jet noises because they're great. I thought you were going to talk about the sound that he makes when he takes off. 'Cause
Like, I don't think I
he
caught that
jumps
as much.
and he spreads out his arms and he just kind of goes, ah!
And he screams. He doesn't really have a clever character noise. He actually just
so fucking good.
screams at you.
It's like a bird.
Oh,
And
sure
then
he
he's
does.
He heard us talking about Gilda earlier today. And her realistic bird noises. Oh wow, when I did that eagle noise,
There's
it
a
made like a
difference our
bird-shaped
listeners might
waveform.
not get.
Wink! Edit that
Wait.
out. Anyways.
Wait, B, you're telling me that listeners might not get an in-joke made at a D&D campaign?
Aw.
We may be extending what needs to be cut.
Whoosh. He flies away.
Sorry, Wordsy.
Sorry.
Whoosh.
Wigga-goo-goo.
Wigga-goo.
Hey, I
And
ugly
other
were
noises.
apologizing to my good friend Ward Z.
Oh, now you're
I'm a
now you're just
hypocrite. We have to
antagonizing.
go. We have to
Come
go.
on, edit this
So
out.
anyway, Taki
Whoosh.
gets orders from the FBI headquarters that they're planning something in Osaka, so they ride on their
Hold
motorcycle
on, wait,
together.
because this is we are
Oh,
we are
wait,
skipping
shit.
a very
No,
important
wait,
part, which
yeah.
is when Taki arrives. So Taki shows up in like a military vehicle,
Military Jeep.
military jeep.
Oh yeah.
Hayato's like, "Yo, Taki, what are you doing here?" Taki's like, "I got sent to do some FBI shit in Osaka because they think Shocker's going to do stuff here." And here's where we get another example of what Dokugander's main power is going to be now. Besides the flight, is he's got gratata fingers. That's the only real way I can think of to describe it. He just kind of
He hits
points
it-
his hands at
Hits
stuff.
you with the finger
Yeah.
bang.
Yeah.
And it explodes. And we show that off by
Yeah.
blowing the fuck out of this Jeep model. They annihilate
Yeah,
this
it's
thing.
amazing.
I want to say that's like a good 10 seconds of Taki arrives on Jeep and then Jeep explodes.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah,
so
pretty
fast.
much.
He just like he shows up on the scene. I was like, "What? What the fuck? Hey, Taki!" And he's like, "Yeah, here, I'm gonna get out of this car." It's just,
Let's
just
see
boom.
how many seconds it is.
I just showed up for my Mexican vacation. I have my souvenir shirt on still. What's going on? I just showed up with my Jeep. Oh no, my Jeep!
It was 8 seconds.
8
Wow.
seconds.
Yep.
It was 8 seconds.
8 seconds from when they see each other to when the Jeep is
I will
exploded.
say they apparently had some money to spend on some
Oh,
explosions this episode because I think we only
Heck
blow
yes.
up
At
two
least little
things,
ones.
but whew, we blow some shit up.
Yeah, they save
Yeah.
it for the big ending,
Oh,
thankfully.
boy.
But yeah, we get a little
Mwah.
taste
It's so good.
with this little micro machines Jeep.
Yeah, they fucking annihilate this thing.
bursts
It is
into
not
flames.
getting repurposed, except for maybe as like rubble.
Yeah, no.
Speaking of rubble,
Yeah, speaking of rubble, so Hayato and Taki make their way to Osaka to look for the professor. I believe at this point we cut back to Koizumi and Yoshi P. And Koizumi's like, all right, hey, oh no, wait, actually, Koizumi propositions Yoshi P to help him with his project in the scene before, doesn't he? And then this scene after is Koizumi actually taking Yoshi P to his secret lab.
pretty much, yeah.
Yeah, damn bitch, you live like this,
And
HQ.
that's what happened. Yeah, that's definitely what I wrote down.
So yeah, Koizumi takes Yoshi P to this like abandoned ass. I mean, this thing, very apt, I suppose, for the end of the episode. But this thing looks like a bomb went off in it. Like this
really
place is a
does.
wreck. Which Yoshi P comments on. He's like, "You've got a secret lab here," and Koizumi's like, "Look, hey, just come on."
Shut
Yeah.
up. Come here.
Can't afford FBI stuff.
Quit asking
expensive.
questions.
So, Koizumi leads Yoshi P into the base. He pushes Yoshi P into a room. He locks the door. Yoshi P's looking at the bars where Koizumi is just like peeking in through the bars, laughing at him. And then I think he like slides out of frame, like sideways, and then from the bottom up
He does.
comes fucking Mothdar.
Yep.
So
Yeah, Dirk.
good.
Just hello.
Yoshi P.
You know, I think about it, I don't. That's the last time we see
Yep.
Koizumi. So we are just to assume that Dokugonder is that guy, but Dokugonder wasn't in the. Didn't come out till he got the pupa.
Yeah, I don't.
Well, I guess that could have just been a shocker
Or
goon
something.
in disguise. They've done that plenty of times. They do that later in the episode. So, but it's an interesting case of they never really show the reveal that Koizumi was a fake, but he disappears from that
Yeah,
moment.
they don't really explain it. It's one of the few things they expect you to infer on this episode. They're just like, look, you already know that the
Back
Koizumi's
into old
probably
habits.
a fake because he died. I mean, don't worry about it.
It's true.
Yeah.
He did die.
He did. Damn, he do be dead though.
He did seriously ragdoll. off that
Really?
cliff.
Yeah.
You ever think about how
Got eaten by
sometimes dead
Source
people
collision
die?
noises and everything.
That's pretty messed up if true.
Damn. Wait, Gopher, did I hear you just say people die?
Sometimes.
Big if true.
Not
Not
usually.
traditionally?
I mean, it's very rare for a person to die. Like, they only do it once, so you gotta be looking if you want to see it.
You gotta keep
Maybe
your head
twice
on
a year in
swivel.
Boston.
Anyway,
What?
so Dokugonder rolls up on Yoshipi and he's like, "All right, here's the deal. I am making more bebis for Shocker, so we can rule the world. I make a Dokukun, and it hatch into another Dokugonder. Here's where you're gonna help.
Because I'm pretty cool. I'm a cool cyborg, and we should have more of me.
You know what?
For
Inclined to
Shocker.
agree. It's better than making more
You know,
Cobra
yeah,
Men.
that's seriously.
Yeah.
And we're trying to reduce the costs by growing them naturally.
We only use organic cyborgs now.
Yeah, we grow them in eggs or cocoons.
Cocoons, eggs.
I could go for some eggs.
You want some scrambled Mothdar?
I might.
We'll get to that later.
I might make some scrambled eggs.
Scramble you some eggs.
I won't keep anyone updated, but
Gopher will update us on our Twitter later if they decide to make eggs.
Yeah, sure.
that's exactly.
Anyway,
The smart question is asked: why the hell should I do
yes,
this?
yeah. So, and this is the thing that does need to be explained. So, Dokugunder's like, you've got a cocoon growth formula. I want you to finish it and make it and use it on my cyborgs, so I can make more. We can make more babies faster, so we can take over Japan. Obviously, Yoshipi's like, why should I help you? To which point, Dokugunder's like, hey, look at the image on the video. That's your kid. We can catnip this child. I host a podcast semi-professionally. We can catnip this we can catnip this kitty anytime we want. All right, just a little pinch.
Give this kid a
He'll
bunch
be
of
out.
catnip.
Lost in the sauce, rolling on the ground. Anyway, we can kidnap this child whenever you want. So, basically, you got to decide what's more important to you.
It's up
Do
to
you,
you.
do you want your kid to be safe, or do you want her to not be safe? But this is where we get a convenient cut to Mari and Black Belt girl's name is Yuri?
Yuri? Yes.
Mari and Yuri, they're doing paper exchange.
Yeah, Hayato has them like undercovers scoping
Is
the
this?
area.
I had never heard of
Like-
paper exchange until this episode. Is that a thing?
Apparently, I saw it in a Godanger
Really?
episode actually with a
Interesting.
similar premise.
Huh.
Come to think of it.
Maybe it
Maybe
was
just
just a
a,
thing in
maybe
the 70s,
more of a thing
yeah.
of the time. Yeah.
Yeah, like a lot of people apparently like I can't say a lot of people did it. Sorry, I just mean like in that episode as well. It was just like, hey, we'll take your stuff and exchange it for stuff. Just give us your crap.
So basically, Mari and Yuri are going around being like, "Hey, we will take, old books, newspapers, magazines, unused paper products like that, etc., etc. We will trade you that crap for toilet paper, because I guess toilet paper's in
Because-
demand."
Well, I mean, yeah,
Because
they
Always
even
is.
men and women always need to do. They'll always have time to do
Yeah.
Yes.
I've never in my life before have I heard someone ripcord out of their own joke.
Really?
I mean, that was amazing.
Have you been listening to anything I've been saying these past
guess
9
that's fair.
months?
I don't know. I think that was
Yeah,
harder
that was
pivot.
really. I mean,
No, I do that a
that's
lot.
the thing. It's one thing to bail out on a joke. B pulled the ripcord. B was like, "Get me out of here now." B hit the big James
going
Bond
down.
eject button on that joke and blasted out of there as quick as they could.
Speaking of crazy vehicular manhandling,
Yes.
something strange about this scene that just amuses me
The
but
way the
isn't
car is
important
driven.
whatsoever is they're turning a corner and
They ran Marty
Marty
into a bush.
is yelling out of like a megaphone. Yeah, they just like almost run the truck into the hedges on the side, and I'm just like so scared. She's reaching out
Yeah, oh gosh.
of the passenger side door, and just like literal like centimeters away from just getting all kinds of brushed up
It's
on with
ridiculous.
this
Is Mario really at risk of getting a face full of bush?
So it's a normal Friday for her.
head.
Hey-o.
Anyways, how
Okay.
progressive. For the 70s.
But doesn't no.
No, finish the sentence, B.
Oh,
I want to know your
Uh-oh.
thoughts.
Uh-oh. I thought we were gonna keep going. I thought you were just gonna ignore me.
I mean, technically.
Alright.
B, go, take your time.
Alright. I think I know what you're trying to say. I think I actually know what you're trying to say.
I know what I am very aware of what B is trying to say. I just want to make him say it.
Oh.
I'm sorry, B.
they could say so many things. How do
You
you
know
what
that's
they're
fair.
gonna say?
You never know.
Rider.
Jump. Rider kick. Rider fight. Rider die. Reader die. What about
Anyway,
pretty fly?
Why are we so
white guy?
unhinged? We have
anyway,
to go.
Mari and Yuri are basically on watch duty. They're trying to watch out for Shocker because Hayato, I guess, somehow knew that. Well, actually,
Knowing Shocker tactics, I guess. Also, he might know where this guy lives, even if he
right.
didn't
That's
snoop
I was.
around.
My thing was going to be
Mhm.
like, how does he know that Yoshi P has a daughter? But considering the actions that we have insinuated that he may have taken, I imagine they've met.
He's learned a lot
Yeah.
about him. And his family.
It's just nonstop this
Yep.
episode, huh?
We're just, he's having a nice
Yeah.
relationship, and they're openly
Of all things, this
communicating
is
and
pretty-
learning
I
personal
mean, yeah, but
information.
it's just
This is wholesome
Yeah, that's
compared to
fair.
They're
everything.
growing their business relationship.
Having a good
Yeah.
time.
So anyway,
having a good
right,
time.
shit. Anyway,
Gonna make a supersonic
oh,
band out
yeah, I
of him.
bet.
Anyways, yeah, sorry.
It's fallen entirely silent.
I remember being I liked this scene for a lot of reasons because this scene turns
This whole scene's
really
great,
good
yeah.
really fast. But
yeah.
the premise alone was fun because I do enjoy the Rider Girls like actually pretty seriously committing to a anti-shocker
Yeah.
plan, a little scheme as organized like by Hayato, and it's probably because Hayato organized it, but still like they kind of grouse and complain about doing the grunt work parts of
They
it, but
always
are
do.
like they're like then sort of like strategizing, going like, oh yeah, but we did. And they mention, I think they actually just outright mention this, though I think we weren't paying attention at the
That
time.
sounds like us.
They mentioned that that daughter can't be here
Do they mention that?
because she'd be in too much danger.
Oh, I mean that.
I feel like that's a thing they
Maybe.
say, which is your hint because the daughter
They
is
might have
there.
misinterpreted it. Like,
I don't
We
know.
might have misinterpreted it as she shouldn't be here, it's too dangerous, as opposed to she isn't here
Well,
because it's too dangerous.
I honestly can't remember, but I do remember it occurring to me after the scene, going like, "Wait, were they actually just talking about that?" Oh well, whatever. If I'm wrong, I'm sorry. But either
Yeah.
way,
So anyway, Mari
there's a prestige.
Mari points out
happening.
the suspicious car. It drives past, and a woman walks out and onto the front yard where Yoshi P's daughter, her name is Miki, by the way. That'll be probably relevant here.
Miki.
She's playing. You know, she's.
Is it?
I don't know. Wait, is it relevant or is it Miki?
No, is it relevant? I'm genuinely
mean,
asking. Like,
It's
her
her
name.
name. She shows up for the rest of the episode. It's
I guess. Yeah.
For clarification purposes, in a moment, it will be relevant.
I guess that she does have more of a
yeah.
scene than
This
just
isn't the only scene she's in. She shows up a lot.
Yeah, no, that's fair.
So anyway, Miki, she's in the front yard. She's playing with a ball. A woman shows up and she's like, "Miki, your father has had an accident. He's in the hospital. I'm here to take you to him. Come on, let's go." And upon hearing this, Miki, our sweet young daughter, turns around and hits this random woman with what I like to refer to as the Sailor Moon special, because that's the show where I saw this particular gesture the most. But the
Pokemon.
oh
for
yeah,
maybe,
they did that in Pokemon a lot too. But the
old drag the
drag
eye
the eye down, stick the tongue out, ooh. And that's where we see the prestige, which is that this is not Miki. It is in fact our boy, child acting extraordinaire Goro, back at it again,
Hell yeah.
proving that not only can he act out of universe, but he can act in universe too. Yeah, and beat ass.
Yeah.
He's something that does frustrate me about I believe it's Yuri. Who's a black
Yes, Yuri
belt,
is
yeah?
a black belt.
She said she is, but she puts up less of a fight than
Yeah,
Goro here.
it's
Oh yeah, Rider Girls spring into action, and Mari has the fucking
Yes.
rapier for
she has the
fencing,
swoosh, swoosh, swoosh.
and she
And it lasts for
immediately
half
gets
a
disarmed.
second, 2,
She leaves to
3
get a stick.
seconds.
Yeah, Yuri stays to fight and doesn't get very far. And Mari leaves. She abandons her rapier to get a big stick, and Goto's just there the whole time.
Biting his
Yep.
Bites him?
shins,
Bites the dude.
Yeah,
like elbows.
little scrapper.
Yeah,
Yeah,
just-
this is very disappointing combat prowess to be shown from the two members of the Rider Girls who have explicit combat experience. And I'm not saying they're like a battle trained and tested extreme elite soldiers, but
Yeah,
I just wanted them to
yes,
be better
exactly.
than this
One of them is a
9-year-old.
third dan black belt in karate, and the other one has fencing experience. I would have liked a little more than what we got.
yeah. I feel like they're
Yeah.
part of it. It's on one hand, it's like this shouldn't be surprising given the time and what we're watching, but they set them up to have skills, so we got
Yeah.
tricked. We got tricked into thinking they'd be better in this.
Yeah, it wouldn't be so strange if they didn't
Right.
have these backgrounds.
If
Like,
they're
if they were
like-
just three random ladies, sure.
Even if they're
Even-
like, oh yeah, I'm starting karate.
Yeah, if
you know,
Yuri
I'm-
was still a white belt and like Mari was in her first month of fencing training, it would be one thing. But the fact
Yeah,
that Yuri is a third dan black belt, and at least I guess they don't ever explain the extent of Mari's training, but it seems like she's just like, yeah, I am a fencer. I have trained in fencing. I know how to fence. So you would just kind of expect a better performance out of them than what you ever end up getting. Honestly,
Yeah,
I
pretty
feel like
much.
Miki has probably done has like had the most success in combat of the Rider Girls probably so far. Except for, I guess, unless we count Rukia, which I wouldn't, because she's not a Rider Girl. But
Yeah.
Yeah, of the specific set.
it's just, it's disappointing. It's, it's like looking at any female side character in Naruto. You're like, wow, there sure is a lot of ability that's
not being capitalized in
really.
the slightest here. Oh.
Womp womp.
But
A problem that plagues even
Yeah.
our current era.
Yeah.
yeah, and like, it's fine. It's a nitpick in this situation here because like at the end of the day they still get the
Yeah, they
goon and
succeed.
beat him over the head with a brick or a large stick rather.
Stick was the better choice in the end.
Blunt force
because it
object,
allowed
yeah.
her to just knock his ass out.
But just the fact that
And then
Goro
Goro just
is-
keeps
Yeah.
hammering. Goro mounts his back and just keeps
Girl
pummeling
fucking
him.
works stiff.
Do not get in a shoot fight with Goro.
Yeah, he
He'll
will
fuck you
annihilate
up.
So they capture this shocker grunt. They take him back to what I'm going to call the banter zone, because boy, you think we faff a lot. 90% of the lines in this scene were just faff. It was just like, oh, sick burn, ooh, sick burn, ooh, sick burn. But I think it's everyone, right? It's like Hayato, Taki, Mariyuri, Goro. I think maybe Miki as well and Tachibana.
I think it's. I don't think Tachibana is here, and I don't think.
Oh no, you're right. This would have been before we knew Tachibana was in Osaka.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think it was everyone I mentioned
Tachibana
except
is
for
not
Miki
here.
and Tachi.
And yeah, Michi.
No, Miki,
So we got.
the daughter.
Miki. Yeah.
No, I'm sorry, the daughter is
I'm
there.
listening who
Never mind.
isn't here.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, the daughter is here. I said Michi. Miki is totally here. The real
Real
Miki.
The
Wow.
real Miki,
Flesh.
who really doesn't look anything like Goro when you look at her, but hey, that was on us.
To be
we
fair,
didn't know.
we didn't
you
know.
don't see her face when they show
Yeah,
her.
we only saw grainy
so-
footage, and it's a convincing enough disguise. But once they're next to each other, it's like, oh,
Especially
yeah.
because
She's
Goro is
like-
significantly taller than she is.
half. I was gonna say she is like at
So
least
much
half a
taller.
head shorter.
Yeah.
And she got chubbier cheeks. She killed you, don't kill you, but
She's such a cute little baby.
adorable.
She fucking
Yeah.
hates Goro. Goro's like, yeah, we're kids. We gotta stick together. Solidarity, right?
Yeah,
Fuck you.
I hate boys.
I hate boys.
You're no fun.
It's like fair, girl.
But yeah, we are interrogating a shocker agent. We're trying to figure out where the shocker base is, trying to figure out what the shocker plans are. Unfortunately, we're not going to get far because we're going to spend the majority of the scene roasting each other, and then old Dokugander is going to show up and he's going to do a couple drive-bys.
Yeah.
Yeah, repeating
Yeah.
shocker law.
Good old shocker.
It's true. The guy didn't even snitch either.
He didn't say anything.
Yeah, he was just
Dokugander was just like,
sitting
look, I'm not even going to... I'm not Sabotag on. I've got plenty of
Not
people.
risking it, shocker law.
Bow!
We're
Bow.
making more right now. Just a couple flybys, we get some more action
Yeah,
figures.
more action figure fight
Just
scenes. And then I think Taki is the one who makes Taki is the one who makes it to the roof first. Why
Yes.
does Taki go to the roof first?
I
What did you
don't
think he was gonna
know.
do?
I think they just wanted to show off his little jeans,
I
maybe.
guess that's fair.
I don't know
My-
if it's fair, but
My brain's kind of mush after all of this.
That's fair.
I think that's fair too.
But yeah, so Taki makes it to the roof first, and he dodges some flyby attacks by Dokugander until Hayato shows up. We get our first... No, I'm sorry, this is our second transformation of this episode, but our first Tenshin of this episode. We get the pose and everything. Hayato transforms. We get a bunch of, Dokugander and Kamen Rider jump at each other and then do an aerial stunt, and then land, and then pose, and then jump at each other and do an aerial stunt. That's going to be a lot of these fights.
I wrote it down as double high five with Mothman. Because that was his opening volley. Is they just do this thing where they just kind of have both their arms in the air and they just look like they're going for a big ol' aerial double high five, and then they land opposite of each other.
Yeah, it's I mean, I understand there are limitations of the medium. They want this to be like an acrobatic fight, because Kamen Rider's got the jump thing and Dokugander flies, but it was 1971. That sort of thing was difficult to do.
That was the extent of how they wanted to show that off until the big
Yeah,
finale
pretty much.
later.
You know, I am a little sad that we didn't have like the minis just like hitting each other while they're on wires.
That would have been
you know?
good. I would have appreciated it.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we have a little skirmish with Dokuganda, and then he dips. And I believe that takes us to Osaka Castle. Does that sound about right?
Yes, it does.
Okay.
Yes. You see the child
Yes,
squad.
yeah. So
out
we're
front.
at Osaka Castle. Miki's got her telescope, and she's looking for her dad, but she can't find him. And Goro's like, "See, I told you, Osaka Castle is so big, you're never gonna find him with a little kid telescope like that." And she's like, "Hey, fuck off."
Pretty much. You
I
suck,
believe the
dude.
exact quote is like, "This is why I don't like boys. You're mean."
Yeah,
Uh,
You're
not
no
making a
fun.
good first impression.
I like.
Goro just takes the biggest.
Yeah,
sniffy
Goro's
pictures.
Goro's doing
An anime
the
nose
late
rub.
70s, early 80s young boy nose rub from anime. He's learned well.
Real
Yeah,
Osamatsu
really.
Kun stuff.
But yeah, so the child squad is roaming around. Mari and Yuri show up to Osaka Joe Castle to look for the kids, but
Have you seen a
before
very-
they show up on the scene, we gotta watch some kids take a picture. And this fucking
And who-
scene,
boy.
Oh.
A lineup
These-
of about
Oh,
10
at least.
children
Let's count.
Give or take.
who
Let's count.
look
here.
They are
miserable.
so
Just usually when you get a crowd of kids, right, in a TV scene,
13.
I feel like there 13 children. There is a
50-50 chance of winning.
little bit of a mixed bag because they don't consistently know what to do or something, you know. Like some kids will veer off of what they're directed, but it's like you got to call it good enough because you're getting a whole crowd of children to do a thing. These children are uniformly so angry
They're
looking.
so
No, not angry. But miserable. They just look like they've had to trudge for like 12 hours in these stupid little outfits and take this
And
picture
yeah, it doesn't
like completely in
It
real
doesn't help
life.
that
Yes.
this is look, and it's funny because I actually saw here as we were recording, there are some people in the Hive talking about how overall the fashion sense in this show pretty good, pretty spot on. There's some great, well inspired fits. These are the most whack fits I have ever seen even a single child be put in, let alone 13 of them.
This is why I suspect, particularly because there's a group of 3 boys in the front that all have they're clearly different ages, but they have identical
Yep.
outfits and haircuts, and I can't help but think, okay, these children are
Yep.
probably siblings, and their parents were like, "This is how we're going to tell you apart
Mm-hmm.
from the other children," and they're not dressed by people on the set. Their parents were just like, "Here's how you're going to look for picture day," and we already kind of went over how
my
awful picture day is.
It fucking bowl cut polo boy shorts overalls, like just the worst fit.
There is one child who just looks like they have a t-shirt on. But there's no like collar around the t-shirt, so it just looks like it's kind of bent in, and that just looks kind of
Yeah.
uncomfortable to me. That's a very big nitpick, but hey.
The point
Might
that we
as
were
well.
trying to drive home is that these kids look like they are having an awful time. And so Mari and Yuri show up as they are getting their pictures taken, and they ask They ask the
Pho.
photographer man if he has seen their quarries, Goro and Miki, and he's like, "Nah, I haven't seen them." And I think Mari is like, "We better go find them before, Shocker shows up again." And I don't remember exactly what he says. But this photography guy makes an offhanded comment about Shocker. And Mario's like, wait a minute, old man, how do you know about Shocker? And he
As if that shouldn't be like setting
Right,
up alarm
yeah.
bells in her head. I thought this guy was gonna be a
to
goon.
be fair, it takes her, even after the prestige is revealed, it takes her a second. It was like it was like poor Linda forgot her line or something, because it takes her a second to actually reveal the prestige. But yeah, this photography guy comes out of the little because it's one of those old school like tripod, big chunky cameras. I don't know how
Yeah.
else to, the big wood box with the, and you gotta stand in the, you know.
Yeah.
Yes.
So he comes out from the little blanket that he's got to cover up the camera parts, and he looks at the ladies, and he takes off his hat, and then he takes off his mustache. It's Tachibana. And he takes off his beard. And I think he actually gets a line in before Mari says, hey, it's Tachibana. What are you doing here in Osaka?
What a
Like,
coincidence.
Mari, you gotta be a little quicker on the uptake than that, sweetheart. She's trying.
doing her best.
Oh,
I
yeah.
know she is. It's okay, Mari. We still love you.
She's just really distracted at
times.
all times.
Mm-hmm.
It's,
Girl, I feel it. No, it's
Don't
look,
say
it's
that.
look, B, you have to understand
Yes.
that for some of
yes.
us, it's just a relatable experience.
You can't possibly be as thirsty as her, though. Like, you're...
I
Yes?
don't get
You do
it.
not understand. There are people on the internet who say they are built different. When I say I am built different,
Is it...
I mean it.
Is it true? Is it true? Is Mari a very relatable
I mean, she's
character?
pretty relatable.
answer now on your
Vote
phone.
now on your phones.
Yeah, please comment below if you find Mari incredibly relatable. I'm legitimately curious, and I promise.
Yeah, I
You
would
will not be
actually also
shamed.
legitimately be interested to see how many people find Mari relatable. I'd be interested to see how many people find any of the other side characters relatable, really. Be it, Mari, Yuri, Tachibana, Taki, Miki, Hiromi. If you find Hiromi relatable, I assume that means that you eat food on mic, and I hate you. I'm sorry that you had to find out this way.
Hey,
Goddamn.
I find Tachibana relatable because he looks at people, and he looks at people not doing his work, and he's like, God damn
I'm
it.
sorry. I'm sorry, Gopher. I'm gonna get right back to it.
But first,
Oh, that wasn't for you. That was because it wouldn't be a podcast without me offhandedly mentioning my
That's
work that I had.
Anyway, what happens?
well, they agree that they need to go do the shocker thing. Stop them shocker
Yeah.
guys, and scout
Well,
out.
first,
Yes,
scout with.
that's it.
Yeah,
Yeah, first,
but
let me take a
first-
selfie.
No.
While I'm here with this big ass novelty
Big ass
camera. my
My
goat.
big ass
My
camera.
big ass camera. It's like, I already got it set up.
Take a
Let's take a picture. You're at
Yeah,
fucking
let's look at
Osaka
your
Castle.
castle.
You
Come
might
on,
as
it's
well, right?
vacation time.
Like I'm Tachibana. I'm not above having
Yeah.
a little fun. So we get a nice little upside down, a little old school camera. He's got to look at the picture upside down. And then who should show up
In the
upside down
background of the
between
picture.
these two who photobombs these girls?
Dokugander.
Dokugander.
The young Dokugander fucking photo bomb. Yeah, so Dokugander shows up, and then I like, because we had been talking about in the last episode how everyone in Japan is ready to square up immediately. And then earlier this episode, we talked about how we ran into the one village of people that's sensible. So we get the old energy back, because as soon as
Yeah.
Tachibana
yeah.
sees Dokugander shows up. His outfit, his like traditional Japanese outfit that he's wearing as a disguise is off. Polo on.
He pulls it off like fucking
He really
Hulk Hogan.
does.
He's just like, yeah.
He's like, all right, it's go time. I'm about to whip some ass. I mean, he doesn't actually because
fucking
it's
polo and khakis.
yeah, khakis in the polo.
Yeah, I don't know. Something about the polo and khakis was so like legitimately like, oh man, like this guy's
Yeah.
legit. Like he's just gonna go
fucking
like
love
that.
Tachibana so much. Like every time he shows up, I'm just like, damn, I'm happy you're here, Tachibana. What a great character.
Truly.
So yeah, Tachibana takes the girls. They try to run away from the shocker people. We get a slow motion shot on a bridge near the castle where where Tachibana wins the Royal Rumble.
Which
does.
He gets 2 eliminations.
a little weird to me that it
Or well, no,
was
he gets 1
slow
elimination, I guess
motion.
technically. I'm sorry, what was that, Gopher?
Yeah, one of them's a self-elim. Also, yes, this is in slow motion, as Gopher
yes,
was
yeah.
saying.
Yeah, I mean, you brought it up, and I'm reminded of just why?
Had
Like
time to fill.
it's a long shot, you know. It's
I mean, it's not...
long and far
not-
away.
yeah, it's not like it's focusing on the action.
I think it was just a stylistic choice, because I don't know, I thought it looks cool.
They were
it's-
filming an end credits sequence.
Like, maybe.
I mean, with like the sun where it was positioned and them on the bridge and everything, and like since the shocker goons are all in black, they kind of look like they're silhouetted. It was a cool shot. But yeah,
Yeah,
so
that's fair.
one shocker goon goes running at him full tilt, jumps, puts 1 foot on the bridge, and just yeets himself off.
Yeah. I don't know what he was thinking, but
Another
boy.
guy, yeah,
He was
super
committed.
Another guy goes for Tachibana, so he gives him the old fireman's carry, put him over the other side of the ropes, hold on to him, and punch him right in the face, and he goes over too, which means Tachibana gets a shot for the title at WrestleMania. I mean, I think they get captured pretty shortly after this. I just can't think of how.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's left kind of
Yeah.
ambiguous because they cut
Because they cut to Goro
like
and Miki.
Yeah, they're
Yep.
just walking.
They're walking and they're talking
and,
about stuff, and they just get scooped.
Right. He's just like, oh, right, these children are completely defenseless, and then Shocker just does the logical thing and takes them.
Just 2 shocker grunts run up,
Which
pick
is-
them up, and run off.
It's wild because it cuts, like the goon splashes into the water, cuts away from the fight. There's like a 1, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's 7, 8 seconds, and the shocker agents just jump down at him, and then in another like 3, they're just
Gonzo.
out of there.
These
So it's
kids,
just-
these kids
it
get
happens
fucking
so quickly.
abducted.
And to make it even quicker, the next cut is like on Osaka Castle, and it pans out. They're
Yes,
back
we're
up
back.
on
We're
the
back,
Christian-
back at it again with the Christian imagery.
Not splayed out correctly.
No, we're just
this
tied to
time,
crucifixes.
but
They're
they are
just tied to them like poles.
distinctly crosses.
I guess
still.
that was just the prop they had on hand or something. I have no idea.
Yeah, they took off the
Yep.
telephone bits.
And they were like, "Fuck it, reuse them."
gotta put them on something.
And Ngoro,
Best line of the entire
like
fucking episode.
Oh my
Tachibana-
god, yes.
Okay, so Tachibana's like, spare the women and children, please. Pans over to Goro. What kind of coward would torture a child?
I mean, God, super fair though.
His
Yeah,
follow-up
and
is,
so
is
Dokugander's like,
truly,
"Nah, I'm killing all of you. Do you have any last words?" And Goro's like, "I can't believe this
Shut
is
up,
how
you
I'm gonna
all.
die."
the fucking spirit of like a 50-year-old man possesses
Yeah.
this child, and he's just like, is this really how I
Yeah,
die?
it's fucking great.
Like,
Oh, beans!
just this kid looks like he's ready to like write the great American novel all of a sudden. Like, I don't know what the fuck
It's
is with
fucking
this
Goro,
kid.
man. He's an acting toward the force. What a powerful master of the screen.
Well,
It's
chubby
moments like
cheeks
these that-
Miki is just like,
yeah,
help.
I mean, the reasonable thing that a child would say.
Yeah, it's moments like these though that am a little sad that I don't think Goro went
Yeah,
on to
right?
do anything else besides this
I
season.
mean,
Kamen
we
Rider.
checked real quick and we didn't see
Not
anything.
that we could
yeah.
find. Yeah.
Yeah.
Who knows? Maybe he was a less cataloged bit actor
Maybe.
and things.
Yeah,
I don't know. Maybe he just
I
fucked off
hope-
and
Yeah.
stopped acting because
Yeah, I
cares?
whatever he's doing, I hope
Yeah,
he's happy. Damn.
Hope he's doing good.
Mm.
He's probably the most likely to be
For sure.
alive.
If you
Well,
ever
I mean-
listen to this podcast,
Goro.
Goro, please. I
Goro!
love you.
And also, yeah,
Whatever your name
we
is.
appreciate it.
and also more importantly, we apologize for a lot of the shit we said during this podcast.
Oh boy. We didn't
Yeah,
say
we
it
didn't
about
say
you.
anything about you. At least you're safe.
That would be fucked up.
Yeah.
We just
I think
like
we
your
laughed about the
acting.
banana a
definitely
lot
did.
though, but
Well, what's not to
I
find
don't
funny?
even remember the
The
banana.
banana that he
God.
gives fucking
worry about it.
Tajimana the first episode he shows up.
he's like,
He
here
eats
you
like
go,
half
I'm
a
gonna hold
banana,
this,
he's
old
like, I'm
man.
gonna go cut a rug."
dance with the ladies.
Well, that's
Yeah,
just
it's
amazing.
fucking great.
It's true.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Anyway, there's an execution scene that's happening, and it is interrupted by the Kamen Rider.
We're gonna kill this child.
The Kamen Rider says, "You won't be killing any children while I'm around." So he prevents that. We do a fight.
Yeah.
Sequence of events here, mentally panning out, is what we do a fight. Yeah, okay. We do a fight. Hayato saves the people. Hayato fights some shocker goons. A shocker goon rolls up to Dokugandar and is like, "Hey, the fucking growth serum for the cocoons is ready." And Dokugandar says, "Cool, let's fucking go." He
Bye.
bails. He exits pursued by a Kamen Rider. We watch them run away, and then we see that Taki has been waiting in the wings with his Shocker Goon outfit so he can infiltrate the base. For what reason, we could not tell you, because he blows it immediately.
He just wants to
As-
do
Yeah.
good things.
It's
Bad
kind
Yeah.
of his MO. He's very bad at going undercover.
He's weirdly bad at it, too, because he's an FBI agent.
It's to the point of it being. This is just becoming a running
little bit,
joke
yeah.
at this point because he's never succeeded on it. He always instantly just fucking gives himself up with something incredibly conspicuous.
I have had a thought. And this is maybe a little too practical thinking, but it's just kind of what my brain thought of just now thinking about the situation. Maybe the reason we keep having a bunch of unsuccessful Taki Shocker eliminations is because Taki also doubles as a Shocker Goon extra. And so sometimes they're just like, "Look, you're already in the costume. So we're just going to have you take off the mask, say some lines, and then put the mask back on."
That'd be pretty funny. I wouldn't be
That
surprised.
would be pretty funny.
I mean, it's like, yeah, if you
We need a jobber. Just put on your mask. Nobody will know, and then you can
yeah.
come out and get the win.
Uh,
Except not really, because he completely get fucks up no matter
he
what.
is definitely Hayato's not quite as good tag partner.
No.
Anyway, so the way he blows his cover this time is he is watching as Yoshi P is about to deliver the red Kool-Aid growth formula to the cocoons, and he's like, "Look," he blows his cover immediately. He's like, "Yoshi P, don't do this. Something very bad will happen if you do the growth formula on those cocoons." And Mothdar's like, "Look, drag them off." And Yoshi P thinks for a bit, and he administers the growth formula anyway. And we get what we thought was maybe just a goof that turned out to be very intentional. Because these cocoons are, essentially the way these cocoons seem to be made is they are styrofoam cocoons that are floating on some form of a liquid. And when this growth serum is poured on them, they start fucking disintegrating.
I thought they just
I
Slightly-
did
fucked
too,
up a little.
honestly.
Very slightly backtracking. I'm in hindsight, I'm very, very amused by the look of horror that
Yeah.
Yoshi P gets on his face after they take away Taki, because it's like, did this guy just realize now that we have seen the rest of the scene, oh my god, this guy got captured
Oh,
for
God.
nothing.
No reason.
No
No
fucking
reason.
reasons whatsoever.
I wasn't gonna do it.
Yeah.
Idiot.
Like, what the fuck, dude? Did you really think I would?
So as is the MO for Kamen Rider, we have a prestige. It turns out that Yoshi P has not been working on a growth formula, but in fact a cocoon dissolving formula, and she has destroyed all of Dokugander's hard work. And before Dokugander can enact his revenge on Yoshi P, the Kamen Rider shows up. He beats up some shocker goons. He frees Taki. He frees Yoshi P. Yoshi P, makes his way out of there. Taki and Kamen Rider do a handicap match against the Dokugander for a bit. And then we start exploring kind of the rest of the set. Taki gets to deal with some shocker goons while Dokugander and Kamen Rider square off against each other. Please.
Could I backtrack a little to the scene where
Yeah, please.
where Kamen Rider saves Taki?
I was
Okay,
gonna
yeah,
say.
There must be a good thing I'm forgetting here.
Speaking of the
It's in-
Kool-Aid.
So he and Tachibana enter the base, and Tachibana's like, "Oh, I can hear
shit,
something
that's
in
right.
here." So Kamen Rider gets up against the wall, and he starts Morse code knocking, and he's like, "I'm gonna come save you, love, Kamen Rider." And Tachibana's like, "Oh, it's Kamen Rider, awesome! He's going to come save me. I knew he would." And then Kamen Rider immediately just punches
Yep.
through the wall.
He kicks it.
Takes
He just thrust kicks through
Yeah.
the wall.
He kicks through the wall.
It's so fucking
Boom!
good.
Just takes it entirely down.
It's
So amazing. He could have said get out of the way. He could have said, "Taki, is that you?" He could have said anything else, but he's just like, ILU signed Rider, kicks the wall.
Bam! Explosive force. It really is the great cherry on top to the complete pointlessness of getting Taki in here and making this whole drama, because his sacrifice, his supposed sacrifice, is worthless because the guy was already gonna not do it. And his capture is even more worthless because he gets instantly rescued by busting
Yep.
down the wall, and then he's just kind of there.
He gets put on dispatch soccer grunt duty while
Yeah.
Kamen Rider
It's
Kamen Rider main tanks while
and
Taki
to
has to
his-
deal with the ads.
to his credit, he does get 2 kills,
Yeah.
and I'm pretty sure
Knocks 2 people off the building, if I recall.
those are his.
I mean, I guess it depends on what we want to say kills them, because the end of the episode does happen. And if we're saying the end of the episode killed
The
them,
end's
then those are Kamen
definitely-
Rider skills.
Is that the
Oh,
same
yeah.
building?
Yes.
Yeah, no,
Oh,
it's definitely
wow.
the same building.
Yeah, I didn't even consider that.
Uh.
I'd like to think those 2 were at least dead before it happened.
Just to give Taki a dub.
The rest might be a little
Yeah.
uncountable.
So yeah, Kamen Rider and Dokugander fight their way up to the roof of this dilapidated, abandoned building. Dokugander starts doing flybys. Kamen Rider also starts trying to hit some flybys, which is where we get
with action figure
Yeah.
Kamen Rider on a string.
we basically
Love
resolve
it.
this fight the only way that we can, which is just taking toys of Kamen Rider and toys of Dokugander and putting them on strings and basically swinging them at each other. And so finally, eventually, Kamen Rider gets the Kamen Rider kick to end the match. And we get a scene of the Dokugander toy flies
Fucking
into the building.
meteor effect spikes him.
He meteor spikes him into the building. And then we are using a model of the background in order to do these toy fights. So we are still on the model of this building, and it fucking explodes. Like 3
Yeah.
explosions they
It, like-
use. They annihilate this model.
It has an initial, so it has an initial
floor to
explosion on the first floor, and we're already freaking out because he literally kicked a man into a building and exploded. And we're just losing our shit. It cuts away to something, I forget what, probably Kamen Rider like
probably.
landing, and we cut back to the model, and the entire building gets blown up in an even
It's
bigger
such a big explosion. They annihilate this thing. It's like they were so happy with
out of
the
there.
Jeep explosion. They were like, let's do that again, but bigger.
I am once again having my
Yeah.
Gorenja flashbacks because they do
I
this like
bet.
literally every other episode. They just take a building and they
Oh.
like not even just slightly blow it up, but like
Yeah,
chunks
just
flying
fucking
everywhere, just
annihilate it,
debris
yeah.
and dust. just raising the countryside with all of these explosives.
I swear, Go Ranger's still
It
on
should
my
be.
watch list.
It's still on my watch list for sure. I gotta check it out sometime.
if you like explosives, I can't recommend
I mean,
any
the
show
only
more
show
to
I can
you.
think to recommend more is maybe like a later season of Super Sentai in like the 80s or 90s when they have more budget.
Yeah, probably.
Panty and stocking.
Before
Yeah,
CG, but after
Yeah.
budget.
No, that's what I'm saying. Panty and stocking. They made
Fair enough.
models.
That's fair.
That shit was so cool.
It was
Anyways,
pretty cool.
So yes, Dokugandar is defeated, and we cut to a scene of Goro and Miki. They're finally acting friendly now because, you know, they've been through an ordeal. Miki and Professor Yoshi P are helping see off Goro, Taki, Yuri, and Tachibana. They're going to be taking a flight back to Tokyo. You know, obviously there's the, you know, like, thanks for saving us. That was fun. You know, come see us again. You know, hey, you guys come see us if you're ever in Tokyo. That sort of, you know, we get some nice banter and some lines. I guess there's supposed to be a slight dig to Dokugandar because Yoshi P asks where Taki and Hayato are, and Tachibana says, "Oh, they're going to be riding back to Tokyo. They don't believe something made out of steel can fly properly."
Planes.
Plane.
just one.
But yeah, and so we end with we see Taki and Hayato have themselves a little bit of a conversation, and then they each on their motorcycle ride off into the sunset, and you know the narrator talks about how, you know, this whole ordeal has made Hayato want to renew his promise to save Japan from Shocker. And
Glad. Didn't
pretty
know
romantic.
that. Didn't know that was a question,
Yeah.
but you know, I'm glad for him.
thanks for having renewed resolve, I guess, Hayato.
And your vows.
Yeah, and thank you
Saving the
for
world
renewing
from
your vows with
Nazis,
Taki.
yeah.
As they ride off into
Yeah.
their second honeymoon.
Well, Hayato, he was doing some
mean-
work these episodes. Good for him.
Good for him.
Yeah.
Like, okay, like we're making some jokes, but holy cow. The homoerotic subtext of that final
Yeah,
2
specifically
minutes.
that final 2 minutes between Taki and Hayato is
Like they pulled the lever and went
Yeah.
maximum. Maximum gay.
Quite possibly the only thing that could have made it stronger is if they were
Yeah.
riding the same bike. That is
I was
so
expecting
hoping
them
they
to.
were. Like I was with the way he was talking and the way he kind of moved to get in position, it was like, oh yeah, he's just hopping on a bike and they're going.
I was 1,000% sure that they were gonna both be riding off on the same bike, and I was just like, oh,
into the
Taki,
sunset.
dog, you're married.
Sir.
Which,
Hey, look, more power to you. You got it like that.
Yeah, maybe his wife is down. Maybe he asked, and she was like, "Damn, Kamen Rider, yeah.
Yeah,
Can you put in a
I
word
mean,
for me?"
That would be my
No,
response.
this one. Maybe the other one if he ever comes back from the Amazon or wherever the
Yeah,
fuck he
good old,
went.
good old Honga.
He went to Europe apparently.
he
Oh
goes to
yeah, it was Europe.
yeah.
Oh, I miss Hongo so much. I love Hayato, but
Hongo's
Yeah.
I
Every
he's just
day.
so special.
they're Yeah, like I don't feel like Hayato fills Hongo's shoes. Hayato's like
Yeah.
entirely his own flavor that
Yeah.
I've come to love.
It's a new flavor, but we want both
Honestly-
Because they're
flavors.
two great tastes that taste great together.
Honestly, I think that was probably a good decision.
Yeah.
Like,
Mm-hmm.
from a story point, because it would definitely be a bit more sour if, they needed to, like, oh yeah, Hongo's gone, so we're gonna replace him entirely. It's just like, with Hayato, it doesn't really seem like they're replacing him as much as they're just having another character step in for a
I think
bit.
it's also a great idea just in the matter of that, like, it kind of helps build anticipation. Because I know watching these episodes, all I'm thinking of is, God damn, I cannot wait until Hayato and Hongo can start interacting with each other.
Oh, I'm so excited.
Imagine the horns start to blare as he comes back in. It's just like the opening theme.
That would be so good.
I'm going to actually cry when I see them pose
That's
together
fair.
for the first time. Oh my god.
Yeah, it's
Goodness.
Well, with that, I think we are also going to go ahead and ride off
Well-
into the sunset.
Well, Shakes, that's for you to write. You make comics.
Huh? Posing?
What an amazing response.
Do you
I
want?
thought I heard something else,
Do you want them?
but
Do you want them to
Oh, wait,
kiss?
Oh,
hello?
what? Hello?
I thought.
Gopher, what are you commissioning over there?
What do you
Oh,
got?
I've not-
Yeah.
I'll put some cash
Oh,
in
I
on
thought.
that.
I thought I heard.
Listen.
I thought I
need money.
heard. Shakes just casually add in the word kiss,
That wasn't me,
which
but
I.
But,
Oh,
you
well.
know, if you got the money,
Maybe you've just ruined. Everyone's just
you know,
ruined my brain
we
today.
could
I
maybe,
don't know.
maybe
then they
commission
kiss.
some images of Hongo,
He doesn't enjoy a little slash now and
Hongo
then. you know?
explaining
And then
some
they
things
kiss.
to Hayato with his 600 IQ.
Party rockers in the house tonight.
it's party rock is if that's
Yep.
Hongo saying it.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Well, I guess
Yep.
I know what to draw.
Oh,
And so
God.
do you too now, dear
Please,
audience.
Let us.
That being said, I think we have destroyed our own brains and yours enough for this episode. We would like to say, as always, thank you so very much for joining us. We hope you had a good time. And remember, if you can't believe in God and you can't believe in Buddha, you can always believe in Kamen Rider.